What up? What up? We are back. Fantasy News Today, your news show that is going on every Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. And we got, we're light one on Friday. Well, he'll be in here shortly, but my man TD, normal Friday crew's up in the building. What up, bro?
What's up, bro?
Ready to kill it, and super hyped Friday. It's one of those days where it's almost like the week is like cut in half. You know, we got the Thursday game and we're all excited. We got to do everything before a Thursday game. And Friday, now it's time to panic for 3 days before these games kick off. How about we start off with some news that happened last night? So for the Packers, Robert Tonyan tore his left ACL, done for the year. Happened in the middle of the season. I mean, let's see if he even gets back, by the beginning of next season.
I think he's going to be okay. He walked off the way, because I don't think the tear is as bad as other people tears, because the way he got up, the way he walked, they didn't have to get carted off. So I don't think his rehab would be as tough as other guys, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely levels to every single injury out there. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. Now, everybody want to panic on Kyla Murray. So he actually left the stadium in a walking boot, twisted his ankle at the end of the game yesterday, real late. The coaches did say he should be fine moving forward, but I mean, a walking boot, is that just to make him more comfortable so it doesn't mess anything up? What do you think was the reasoning behind that, if he should be okay moving forward?
Well, they're going PC. They doing PC, so they're not going to say anything. They're going to wait it out. Just like they said that was going to be okay, right? And that's not working out the way we thought it was. So it's not his shoulder, it's not his arm, it's not anything like that. It's not a knee, so it's an ankle. So that's okay. But his ceiling is going to be like last year's guy. This team is still good enough to get into playoffs, unlike last year. But he's not going to be having these 35-point games. It's basically he's just a throwing quarterback now. If he does play, so I would cap your expectations for Kyla, and I think this is maybe rest of the season type. As far as like him not being running around and doing what he do and being mobile in the pocket.
And we saw it. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was his rookie or his sophomore. I really can't remember. I think it was his rookie year where he was doing like real good at the beginning, and then like he hurt his ankle, and then it was like real slow for the end of the season. And just if you take away his mobility, it's taking away a big tool of his.
Yes. It was last year. Last year he was the number one quarterback. He was on the way to win the MVP, the same as this year. And then he went down and somebody fell on his shoulder. And I think people that was like the number one seed in the playoffs, a lot of people had Kyla Murray, and they lost like the first week because Kyla Murray was scoring like 15 points. He just wasn't the same player. So I think it's something similar, but maybe you have a floor of 20 points. It just depends on your scoring format. So guys, just lower your expectations. If you want to move off of him, it is edgy. In a redraft, if you want to move from him, I think it's okay. I think it's okay because he's not going to be giving you the top 5 quarterback numbers anymore. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Hopefully I am wrong.
It's all about what you can get, because everyone wants to, sell at the right time, but it's all about what you can get. Don't sell extra low. Make sure you get good value, because even 80% of Kyler is going to be better than probably 80% of the QBs in the league, if not more.
Exactly. Like I wouldn't sell him for Jalen Hurts. I don't care. I wouldn't do that. A lot of people are like, well, Jalen Hurts, no, don't. You got to get something real nice if you're going to do it.
Oh, man, and I hope everybody's ready. So I thought we were going to have Bogard in the building, but looks like he sent in a substitute for him. Oh, man, are you guys ready? Looks like we got him back in the building. Hollywood Hogan.
Yeah, brother. Fantasy news today, brother. The world champion's here. Pardon my mustache.
So how about let's talk about the thing that everybody is probably waiting for us to talk about, Dak Prescott. So he's limited in practice today. I mean, it's not like he didn't practice. Questionable for Sunday. TD, I know Dallas is your squad. What are you thinking about Dak? What do you want to tell all the fantasy managers who roster him?
So I want to be genuine to fantasy first. So for his fantasy, yeah, guys, he could be out 2 weeks. And the reason why, because we are a championship team. They're not going to push Dak out there and make him play over injury to hurt our Super Bowl chances. So, yeah, it's not going to be good for fantasy managers. But I'm still playing your guys. You got to. Yeah, Cooper Rush, I don't like that name either. I don't feel good about him. But you still got to roll Amari out there. You still got to roll Dalton Schultz. Zeke and Tony will be fine. The offensive line is there. But as far as us winning, like Dallas, the team, it's actually a good move. It's a smart move. But for fantasy purposes, it's not going to be good. But I'm still rolling my starters out there.
Look here, dude. Don't be afraid of what Dallas is going to do, dude, when it comes to Zeke. That means they're going to lean on Zeke and Pollard more, brother. I do feel bad for the Coopers of the world, brother. He's going to be extra pooper scooperish without Dak out there, brother.
Yep. Cowboys. I'm curious to see what they're going to be with Cooper Rush, but yeah, you still got to play your guys. I mean, TD, you playing a guy like CD Lamb? Let's say that Dak doesn't play. You still rolling CD Lamb no matter what?
Yep, you can't get cute. If you don't want to do it, then maybe you like make a trade or something, because this could go on for 2 weeks. I mean, because he's been out on the bye week, so if he ain't healed now, he probably might be even an extra week. So I'm still playing CD Lamb, Amari Cooper. I'm still playing all the Dallas guys. You got no other choice.
And shout out to everyone in the chat right now leaving questions. So the first like 3/4 of the show is going to be us talking about the news. So if you have things you want to chime in about the news, just throw those in the chat. But we're going to get to the start and sit questions, all that. That's going to be at the end of the show. So we're going to get to everyone. Don't like spam the chat with like your questions multiple times. Everyone, just hang out, and we're going to get to everyone after the fact. All right, for the Bucks. Okay, Antonio Brown officially out. Finally official. At least we can throw him on the IR right now. Now Gronk officially questionable. He did practice. Levante David, questionable, but he did practice. Richard Sherman, questionable. He practiced as well.
This is a division matchup, brother. They're going to try their best to get out there on that field, brother. And shout out to Antonio Brown. He tried to bite my look with the blonde mustache a couple years back, brother.
TD, you messing with any of these Bucks this week? Or Mike Evans, is he a full-blown starter? I know that when you're one of those guys, you start your studs no matter what. Versus the Saints, though, Mike Evans hasn't always done the best versus Marshawn Lattimore. You care about that matchup, or you starting them either way?
And you got me on that one. It's certain matchups I do pay attention to. If they play like Jalen Ramsey, DK, those are rivals. Marshawn Lattimore, Mike Evans. But AB is out. AB is out. So you got to go. So Godwin, to me, is a major player. I actually told people I don't like talking about the Bucks, like the receiver starting, because you don't never know what Tom Brady feels like, who he feel like throwing it to, right? But he has to go to Godwin and Evans. They don't have anything else. So to me, I would say roll out Evans this week. He's going to be in the slot more. They're going to move him around and try to get him the ball because they, Antonio Brown is out. And I don't really think Rob should play. That he might, but I wouldn't play him. He's got bruised ribs, or he had broken ribs. So I feel like, why would you risk him getting hurt this week and you're trying to win a championship again? So I don't think Rob plays. I think they it's a heavy Leonard Fournette game and Godwin and Mike Evans.
Bo Hogan, I got a question for you, brother.
Yeah, brother.
Rob Gronkowski being questionable. Is this Arians just playing games with the other coach?
I think it's a little bit of games here, brother. A little bit of war games, brother. And the Hulkster, the Bolkster, he likes war games, brother. And I don't think Rob Gronkowski's going to play either, though, brother. I think it's a game they sit him down. They don't need him. Yep. And as far as a heavy run game, I love Leonard Foreskin, brother. This is a tough run defense. They're exploitable in their secondary with their secondary option from Marshawn Lattimore, brother. And I know that's who they're going to exploit it with is Godwin. He has Godwin in his name, brother.
Let's move over to the Browns. Browns and the Steelers. All right, Baker practicing. He's expected to start. They already came out and said he's starting. Unless there's any kind of setback, he's starting on Sunday.
They got the Gorilla Glue and the duct tape on there, brother. It reminds me of the time I threw my shoulder out trying to lift Andre the Giant. They threw some duct tape on that joint.
Now, we got a couple guys out for the Browns, though, on Sunday. Denzel Ward, one of their top cornerbacks, not playing. Jadeveon Clowney, out. Donovan Peoples-Jones, out. TD, you messing with any of these Brownies on offense going up against the Steelers off their bye?
Well, to me, I don't care nothing about Baker's shoulder or what's going on. I'm never playing like this. The scheme is not good to play the receivers on the Cleveland Browns. They are run dominant. So I'm fond of Nick Chubb and Dearness Johnson. Any of the receivers, I'm not playing that game. I'm not playing. I'm not playing that guess and check game. So I'm just rolling out the running backs. That's all I'm doing. Baker starting. It just lets me know that they're gonna stick to the run game because he's hurt. So they know he can't deliver the ball downfield as he was in the beginning of the season. So I'm definitely not touching these receivers.
Look here, brother. We're not messing around with any of those receiving options. I already could tell you, brother, someone who's questionable for full life is OBJ. And we don't mess with none of them, brother, except for the run game because of what you're gonna do when Nick Chubb and Dearness Johnson run wild on you, Pittsburgh. Alex Collins just ran all over them, brother. And Alex Collins is a river dancing fool. Nick Chubb is a monster, brother. We're starting all the running backs.
Yes, sir.
And Nick Chubb and Baker, they're not even on the team's final injury report, so they're good to go. Nick Chubb's playing.
It's a miracle what duct tape can do, brother.
Yes, sir.
Duct tape and Percocets. Now on the other side of the ball, the Steelers, Eric Ebron out this week, kind of out of nowhere. So hamstring injury, but everyone has got the swinging Fryer, Pat Fryermuth out there. Might be a decent game to start him. And Melvin Ingram doubtful with a groin injury. I know he's not one of their top players, but he is one of their edge rushing linemen.
Fryermuth or Hunter Henry, brother.
Henry.
In a revenge narrative, I like it. Because that's a decision the Bolster had to think about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with Fryermuth all week. Ebron was never I thought they was gonna cut him at the beginning of the season. So I love Fryermuth. If you need a tight end and you streaming, this might be a guy that you can pick up and actually start for the rest of the season. So I would say go ahead and pick him up.
It's a bad matchup for the tight end, though, brother. That's the one caveat.
But even with all those, even with Claypool and Deontay and Najee,
it's got to be
matchup.
The only way I see Fryermuth doing something is if they give him Eric Ebron's targets plus his. If they give him all those, then he might be a good play. But he's been mediocre. He's been right in the middle. Someone you just don't really want to start. I have high hopes, and hopefully this first week.
Yeah, it's kind of to me. It's like the Randall Cobb. Do I think Randall Cobb is an alpha number one receiver? No, but they didn't have any receivers. I agree. But
brother, he plays second fiddle, and that's what he does best.
I agree, but he had 2 touchdowns last week because they had no receivers, right? So if Ebron out, I feel like he could get a touchdown, because he's the only tight end there.
Too many people fighting for shorter A-dot targets over there, brother.
Before we get into our next topic here, I got to remind everybody about one of the sponsors of the show, the Nafulo crypto token. There is a link in the description of how you go buy this token. You need to go get on it right now. I know you guys heard about Shiba and those different tokens that are going all the way to the moon. This is another one. It is about to pop. Trust me, I got involved a few months ago. My money's already more than tripled. And so you want to get in now before it really, really goes to the moon. I'm telling you now,
brother,
links in the description.
You want to know what Hollywood Bo Hogan did with all my millions, brother? I invested in the Wosu, or what? Say that again, brother.
Into the Nafulo crypto token.
Nafulo crypto, brother. What you gonna do?
Hey, Hollywood Bo Hogan, where's your daughter at?
Oh, my daughter, Bogard's daughter. See, that's like the most confused I got. I'm like, do I stay in character? No, my girl's off on Fridays, so that's why I'm always in the stew on the Fridays. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, I was being funny because I was actually for Hogan, the Hogan girl, but I was being funny.
Listen, they don't talk to me anymore, brother. I was a terrible dad. I was life on the road. Life on the road, brother. This is a new world order. Life.
All right, let's get into those god-awful Jets. Corey Davis suffered a hip injury in Thursday's practice. Coach is saying it's not looking good. So if you got Corey Davis, I would just assume he's not going to play coming up lame on Thursday. Mike White is going to start. Josh Johnson will also be active. Joe Flacco, he arrived today. He is at practice, but he's not going to be active on Sunday.
Yeah, brother. You know what would have been fun, brother, if it was John Johnson and not White Mike? Because at least John Johnson can get mobile, brother. He was fun for daily fantasy purposes, brother.
Yep. Remember White Mike on the Wayans Brothers way back? We need a Mike White drop.
From the SNL joint.
No, not from the SNL. He was on the he ended up getting his own show, and I can't remember what the hell it was called, but he was on the Wayans Brothers first, and they called him White Mike.
Brothers. Yeah, that's right. I remember White Mike. That was Marlon's homie.
Yeah.
I forgot. I can't remember. I used to watch that show, but I can't remember him.
Hey, Pops was the whole show, bro.
Yeah. Pops.
Bang, 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 bang.
Always emphasizing everything he eats.
He got his own swag, man. In all the shows he played in, movies, he had his own swag. I got to give it to him.
If you guys want to see some funny shit, before On the Way Out, his son, he started a YouTube channel where it's him, it's both of them, father and the son, and they're like watching like virtual reality stuff or like 3D stuff.
He's like, oh, there's a shark over there. He wearing the goggles. Is the AR goggles?
Yeah,
the VR goggles.
Yeah,
he's tripping out.
So funny, tripping hardcore. And let's see. So that's really it for the Jets. For the Bengals, Chris Evans ruled out for Sunday. Doesn't really mean anything except for P. Ryan is going to be the other dude there with Nixon.
Activate Puka Williams. Activate Puka Williams.
They better.
Hey, you know what's crazy is even Samaje Perine might get some work here because they might be fucking him up so bad.
That's true.
You know what I mean? That they're like, all right, Joe. I just hope Mixon was involved in it before he gets. You know what I mean? Because that's a good probability of that happening. Like they're playing the Jets.
They're playing the Jets, brother, with the great white hope, White Mike. Excuse me, Mike White.
But you're playing Mixon either way, right? Wherever you got him.
Yeah, brother. Hit the drop. Sergio Mix-a-Lot. He likes touchdowns and he cannot lie.
You get sprung.
It's a slap.
Sir Mix-a-Lot. He better be killing it this week. That's what we need to see. All right. Just because we like to reminisce on this show, the Texans, they are signing former Steelers running back / tight end Jalen Samuels to the practice squad. How many won a championship with Jalen Samuels as your tight end?
I remember. I just remember being in. I didn't win the championship, but I remember having them, and then it was like the ultimate cheat code. I had a running back in my tight end spot.
Yeah, I won two championships that year because of it.
I know
that's why I was so high on Kyle Pitts. I thought Kyle Pitts was going to be the same. I think Kyle Pitts is a receiver, but if they're going to put the tight end on him, he got to be an early pick. So, yes, Jalen Samuels, I get it. Those type of players can win you a championship like Cordell Patterson.
Coming out of college, though, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was he blocks like crazy, too.
Yes, he does.
That's the thing with Kyle Pitts. You know what I mean? Like, I saw a crazy-ass stat. Blew my mind, bro. He had like 50% of his receptions or something like that. And I don't know if it was the entirety of college or just last season, but it was inline blocking. And he said it would just block someone to hell and be running free and wide. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Different level of grown men in the NFL. But I think once he gets his technique down a little bit, right. First year learning, but next year we're already seeing the shades of it. Like, yeah, George Kittle, he's not going to be the best blocking and receiving tight end in the league anymore real soon.
You don't think so? That's edgy.
If Kyle Pitts really, if he really learns some technique and he really gets his blocking going, he's a cheat code. Like,
I want to say something.
I want to say something about George Kittle, brother. George Riddle. He needs to say his prayers and take his vitamins, because the Bolster will tell him he's doing it all wrong, brother. This is not going to last, brother. I think this is what we need to expect from George Riddle moving forward, brother. His style of play. It's just he throws everybody out the club. He's like a bouncer, brother. He really is like baby Gronk, because he's already hurt a lot in his career.
If I was Atlanta, I wouldn't ask him to block too much, but I would ask him. I would treat him like Shannon Sharp, basically. Shannon Sharp said he had to block. Shanahan told him to listen. When I ask you to block, I need you to block, but I'm not going to ask you to do it a lot, because you don't want his shoulders and stuff beat up. You know what I'm saying? That's why Gronk is beat up. That's why I call him the GOAT. But he did it, because he's like, I'm gonna be the best I can be. But that also comes with something too. Look at let me see, the guy from Kansas City. Tony Gonzalez. He didn't block a lot, but he had a long career too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tony G.
Me and Tony Gonzalez partied a bunch of nights, brother. Back in the South, brother, in the WCW. A lot of cocaine with Tony, brother. I don't call him Tony for nothing.
And shout out to Antonio. He said Hollywood Bo Hogan is fucking awesome.
That's right, brother.
JC Mine Design in the house, and he said, "Oh shit, Bo Hogan in the house."
That's right, brother. What you gonna do?
Uh-oh. Now I want you to do something. Antonio said, "Do that thing Hogan always does with his hands in his ears."
Oh, what was that, brother? What was that?
I forgot about that. That's one of the signature moves.
Oh yeah, you didn't really do that with NWO. I don't think. That was more with. That was this one. And for the Texans, before we get off them real quick, Davis Mills is starting this week officially. Tyrod just not ready yet, but he's already practicing. We know it's getting close. So if in the Superflex League, if he's available, go try to swoop him right now. He better be a week early versus like the week he's officially coming back.
You better be faster than us, brother.
Yeah. I'm so glad he's coming back, because I've been losing in a couple of fantasy leagues in Superflex, because I ain't having no Superflex quarterback. Tyrod been out, so I need him to come back. So I'm actually kind of disappointed, but I want him to get healthy. I don't want to come back and lose him.
That's why I like to diversify all my shares of all these quarterbacks in Superflex, brother.
Okay.
Well, because I can imagine you waited a lot. You waited on quarterback in the Superflex.
I did.
So
no RB, no QB. Is that what you went? 0 RB/0 QB in some of those Superflex leagues?
Because the quarterbacks that I wanted were later picks, guys. You know what I'm saying? Because I kind of like to get a value on quarterback and keep studs in between them. You know what I'm saying? I like to have a stud receiver, stud tight ends and stuff like that. But hey, I had to do what I do, so it cost me a little bit, but it's fine.
And don't forget, everyone leaving questions in the chat right now. As soon as we get through all the news, we're going to be getting to the start-sit questions and things like that. Friday, we're always going to hang out a little bit longer, just because, getting you ready for the weekend.
I gotta leave a little earlier though, brother, because I got a flight to catch, brother. I got a big match.
You tap out when it's time. You tap out when it's time to tap out.
I don't ever tap out, brother. No holds barred.
All right. So for the Chargers, heard Austin Eckler not practicing. It was Wednesday, like at the end of practice when he came up lame on it. So he didn't practice Thursday, didn't practice today. It is not looking good. And someone asked in here earlier, who would even be the guy? Let me see if I can find it.
Larry Roundtree?
Yeah.
And Justin Jackson?
Yeah. And Josh Kelly is actually who's like highest on the depth chart right now too.
But Roundtree been outplaying Josh Kelly.
Yeah, I know. I just said he's higher on the depth chart. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to play any of them versus the Patriots, really.
No, as long as Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, Justin Herbert gonna probably sprinkle them, and he just gonna kind of, you might be able to get Larry Roundtree for a fall-in touchdown, but who wants to try to target him for that?
You taking a chance on any of those Chargers RBs? I mean, even if you don't, like, whether you preface your answer, whether you have Austin Eckler or you don't, like, just for people out there.
If you're in a pinch, brother, or a deeper league, Justin Jackson's probably the one I would suggest. But it's gonna be your guess versus mine, brother, because who knows? Could be Larry Roundtree, could be Josh Kelly, could be all three of them.
And be ready to make some kind of moves right now, because it's not looking good for Eckler playing. I mean, if I have to come out and say is he playing or not, I'm leaning on the side that he's not going to play.
These organizations are smart, brother. It's a long 17-week season. Just like my long road to the championship back at WrestleMania.
Yeah. That's why I didn't take RBs. Listen, I want the top RBs, but I didn't want to draft the guy that's going to be out. Like, Austin Eckler, he's just so fragile, man. If you can you got to squeeze him for everything you can get, because he's eventually going to go down sometime in the year. So hopefully he comes back and he's fine. But a hip injury, that sounds a little bit serious.
The hip bone is connected to the knee bone, brother. You heard the song. This is not good, brother. You can't run wild when you got no hip, brother.
Yeah, the crazy thing, especially if you play in a super flex league, I mean, everybody really, most people value the RB1 and 2 spot the highest, but there's still just 2 spots on your roster when you think about it. But you got to have 2 people at least to play there.
Yep,
Depending
I agree,
on the
100%.
scoring format. If the scoring format favors the QBs, brother, I'm going QBs over all those early running backs. I just can't help myself.
You right. I agree
with
with
a bunch of I target the second crop. Like this season, I had a bunch of Monty Burns, brother, and he burned me.
And even in single QB, I almost want to start the trend of the early QB.
Yep.
Because if you would have got a QB in the first round versus, a CMC versus
Derrick Henry's the only one to have in the first round right now, brother.
And Najee. Yep.
In some instances, I had to pull Najee up in the first round, brother. And I said, look here, dude. Najee's going to get almost 400 touches, brother. And what you're going to do?
And the only news we got from the Patriots side of things is that Kendrick Bourne is expected to play versus the Chargers.
That's irrelevant for fantasy purposes, brother. But he has one of the more ignorant nicknames I've ever came up with. Kendrick Lamar Bourne Identity is what I call him.
In deeper leagues, he was pretty relevant. I had to start him last week and passing
touchdown pass.
Passing touchdown. All right. Trey Lance. Let's hear it. I know Hollywood Bo Hogan is a secret fan of the 49ers. Lance comes into the facility feeling good. He's expected to be active on Sunday, and he's not even on the team's injury report.
Look here, brother. He's going to go back to getting sprinkled in here and there into the action. They're going back to phase 1 of ease him in, which they tried that. Then they tried to hit it in full. They tried to kick it up a notch and kick it into gear. And they came out of that second half against the Seahawks, brother, and he wasn't ready. And then to make matters worse, brother, now to save face, they had to start him against the Cards. And he showcased how raw he really is, brother. Coming off the bye week and now last week's loss, we're going to hear more and more about Lance, brother.
Yep.
The more and more Jimmy loses, they're just going to throw him in there.
Yep.
And this is going to be a lost season, but a pivotal learning season.
Yep.
For the rookie. And he's going to learn the hard way.
Yep. This is the time to go stash or trade for Trey Lance. I think Jimmy only has maybe 2 to 3 weeks. And if he wins these next 3 games, then he keeps the job. But if he loses, they're going to say, look, it's a wash season. We're going to go ahead and go trade. They could trade him. They could trade him before trade deadline.
Look here, Mean Gene. I said it Bogard said it from the beginning of the season. Jimmy play good. Jimmy don't get hurt. Jimmy don't lose job. He's not checking off all those boxes right now, brother. He's about to drop the title. He's about to drop the strap to Lance.
Yep.
All right, let's see. What else we got here? We got, I know Hollywood Bo Hogan is a real big fan of Will Fuller the fifth. He will not return off of IR, but the coaches say he's moving in the right direction.
Look here, brother. You know where he's moving? Into the direction of this Hollywood leg drop, brother. Just to put him out of his misery, just like I did his grandfather, Will Awfuller the third. He comes from a long line of Awfullers, brother.
That's all we got out of the Dolphins. For the Panthers, so Terrace Marshall finally back at practice, but he's not going to play on Sunday. I don't think he's clearing concussion protocol in time. But he really got
brother.
He got smacked into 3 weeks into the future.
Play the Marshall drop, brother. Anytime we can play the drop, though.
Let's get it in there. Any excuse.
Yeah, brother.
For the Panthers, all right. Shaq Thompson, questionable for Sunday's game. A little bit iffy on him. Big part of their defense, too. And and then Mr. TJ Henderson, aka CJ Henderson, the smart guy. He's also questionable. He's been a bum. They can't do anything with him ever since they traded for him. He can't get on the field.
That's why he only cost like a pepperoni pizza and a third round or a fourth round conditional.
All right. I know TD.
Like a 6th round.
It was something for being a first round draft pick a couple years ago. They got nothing for him.
They got a Chicago style deep dish pizza.
TD, what do you think about T.Y. Hilton coming back and practicing for the second straight day? Think he's going to play this week?
Yes, I love it. I think T.Y. Hilton is a league-winning type flex play. And I said it from the beginning. And he hasn't been healthy for me. But I knew what he was because last year I was like, is T.Y. lost it? And then he came in the second half and they concentrated on getting him the ball. And he showed that he still had it. The last, 5 weeks of the season last week before the playoffs, T.Y. Hilton was like a top 12 wide receiver every week. So I think he can be that for you this week. And then, so you need to go and stash him or trade for him and buy low on him because you can get him for a little bit of nothing.
I'll tell you this with T.Y., brother. If he does play this week, he's probably only running outside. And he'd be limited on his snaps, brother. Definitely on a pitch count. But this is a quarterback that has a big arm, and he has a line that'll give him time.
I agree.
T.Y. He doesn't have Phillip Rivers with his shock put style of throwing the ball anymore. And back when I met Rivers, when he got into the league, he said, "Bolster, what kind of advice can you give me, brother, about fame and fortune in Hollywood?" And I told him like this. I said, "You could be a gold medalist shot putter." And instead, he chose football.
All right. Shout out to Big Kong throwing some news in here. Said Deshaun Jackson and the Rams mutually agree to seek a trade. Is he worth a pickup? It all depends on where he goes. And I read that a little bit earlier, too.
Is worth the pickup, brother.
There you go. I was about to say that. Yep. Go get Van Jefferson. That's basically what he's saying. He said, Van Jefferson, y'all going to play Van Jefferson over me? Well, I want to trade. So Van Jefferson, guys, go get him because he's going to be getting some targets now.
In a dynasty league, I traded McKissick away for Van Jefferson and a first-round draft pick.
You killed it. You stole it.
That was a good trade, brother. I remember watching that show and Bogard was like, "You win that trade, brother." And then I remember Bogard saying, "That's a trade TD would be proud of."
You feel me? You get the first round in return, bro.
Yeah.
Another piece of news for the Rams. Jalen Ramsey did not practice. I think he ate at that same Chipotle that A.J. Brown ate at. So it's an illness, what's keeping him off the field. But Sean McVay's already came out and said he doesn't see it affecting his game status.
Listen, brother, I've had bouts with the toilet because of Chipotle, brother. Don't mess with Chipotle, brother. What you gonna do?
Yes, it's been a stomach
wild, brother.
Yeah, it's a stomach virus been going around, man. I had one earlier this week. AJ Brown. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Watch what you eat, guys.
And speaking of the Titans and AJ Brown, Julio Jones is ruled out for Sunday's game. What do we do with Julio besides punch him in the face?
Stash.
You know what? You never draft him. That's what you do.
That's true.
I just like this point. I mean, you know what? We all have fond memories. We all have fond memories of Julio being dope. He just, you know what I mean? And then now he's in a whole completely ass different system too. So it's like not like we're expecting him to beat Julio over here to begin with. You know what I mean? Like that's what makes me crazy sometimes when people are like, they're like, well, he's Julio Jones, bro. I'm like, yeah, that was Julio in Atlanta with Matt Ryan. Like it's hard to project what he was going to be on a run first team. There's already an alpha receiver there. The idea of it was cool for reality purposes. Like I thought this tremendously would help Henry, but like this is an OBJ instance. They can win with or without this guy. More so without him.
AJ Brown didn't practice today. He got into full practice on Thursday, but they said it's just to let him rest. So he's got the Queen Sheba treatment over there. Take Friday off, you relax for the game.
He's still recovering from his bout with Chipotle, brother. Chipotle is the evil champion of the world, brother. No one defeats Chipotle.
And JC Money Design says, what you gonna do when Chipotle runs right through you, brother?
You get the runs wild, brother.
What else we got here? Oh, okay. This is either going to be a whole lot of nothing or it's going to be something that really pisses us all off. And we'll talk about it Monday, one way or the other. For the Eagles, Jordan Howard takes work with the starters this week and is expected to be elevated from the practice squad.
Look here, Mean Gene. I told people about this earlier in the week, or Bogard did. We told them about Jordan Howard and how everyone should temper their expectations of the work on the ground for Kenny Gainwell to begin with. Jordan Howard's going to get in on that goal line work and that short yardage, and he'll get in some early down carries.
I think they activating Jordan Howard for purposes if Kenneth can't do it. So Kenneth, they're going to give him a chance. If he fumble, if he's not hitting the holes, then they're going to go to Jordan Howard on short yardage. But if him and Boston Scott is getting it done, then Jordan Howard may have 5 or 6 carries, just maybe short yardage. But it's going to be up to Kenneth Gainwell how many carries, and Boston Scott, how many carries they get.
Look here, dude. They don't even run the ball to begin with, even with the Miles Sanders. So I don't even know how many carries there is to go around, dude. And asking for a friend, asking for Bogard, actually. The Bulkster's asking you guys, Damian Harris or Kenny Gainwell. In my mind, I thought Kenny Gainwell would take us to the Graceland, brother. But I'm leaning Damian Harris now.
I'm leaning Damian Harris too.
Yeah, I'm probably leading Damian Harris, but PPR, I'll probably still go Kenny. I trust in Kenny. I like Kenny. I like his talent coming out of college, so I'm gonna still ride it out until he shows me he can't do it.
Kenny Gainwell feels like a trap, brother.
It could be. I'm not going to be disingenuous to that.
But the matchup is too juicy. I'm not going to blame everybody.
But also, Jalen Hurts I've never seen this oxymoron. He's like the number 2 quarterback, but he's about to get benched. So I think he needs a run game.
Because he's number 2 in fantasy, brother. That's what you mean. In reality, he's not that great.
Yes, he could get benched. They talking about Gardner Minshew might be playing. So I believe that they have to do something in the run game. They can't just keep letting them pass it all, the whole damn game, because he doesn't look good doing that.
Gardner Minshew's just a white version of Jalen Hurts. They do the same thing.
I was just going to say that, brother. And I want to say right now, brother, for the first time on live television, brother, Gardner Minshew, I am your dad. I'm sorry I left you, brother. Son, I'm sorry I left you with your mom to be raised in the sticks. I wouldn't have named you Gardner. His mustache says it all, brother. That's my son. I spent a lot of time in Florida, brother. I used to have an addiction to call girls, brother.
All right. We got one last piece of news, and then we're going to be getting into all the questions here. Before we do that, I got to remind everybody, all you daily fantasy freaks out there, I got a new platform that you guys need to go play on right now. The link is in the description on my YouTube channel. I'm going to put the link in here in the comments. For everyone who rocks with the GMM Network, he's going to have a code for you very soon for you guys to use. We got free challenges are going down. Is very similar to DraftKings and FanDuel. Just go check it out. You will get addicted very, very quick. There's a $20 package on there, $20 subscription. You can play in all 50 states if you get signed up for the subscription. You get 60 contests for those $20 a
like
month.
Hulkster Mania, brother. It ran wild all across all 50 states of this great America.
They're only available in all 50 states and in Canada. I'm sorry, Francisco. They said Mexico is next on their list, and they're going to be getting there soon. You'll be the first to know.
The Bolster makes one phone call, and Mexico's got it, dude.
He's picking up his phone right now to call him. So make sure you go check it out, guys. There's some free options in there. There's some paid options in there. But this is going to be the next wave. Caesars Entertainment. You know, you guys heard of Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. They gave them $30 million to get as their financial backer. So this is going to be big time. They only launched 2 months ago. All sports, NFL, college football. They even had a random poker challenge that you got in for free. And like $1,000 was up for grabs. NBA, MLB, hockey, WWE is coming. WNBA is coming. The Big Three is coming. Big Three is one of their big sponsors as well. So go check it out. It's very, very similar to DraftKings and FanDuel. You'll love it. Check it out. Last piece of news. Robert Quinn activated off the IR for the Bears. One comes back and one goes out. Khalil Mack officially ruled out for Sunday's game.
This is great news for my Niners, brother. You know the Bolster. The Niners run game's about to run wild, brother. What you gonna do, Chicago?
This is the best thing that could have happened. This is the best thing that could have happened for Jimmy G. That's for sure. Number one pass rusher. He doesn't need to be getting any extra heat from Khalil Mackster.
And this was his favorite team growing up, brother. He grew up outside of Chicago. The Bears are his favorite team, brother. He's gonna kick their ass, brother.
It's bad for the Bears. They needed to trade away Khalil Mack to go ahead and start rebuilding for Justin Fields and get in a new coach. Now they have to keep him. So I think they could have got
really hurt, brother.
Because I think
Sam really hurt. Or
I don't know, but the trade
deadline is on Tuesday, brother.
Yeah,
and they're saying he's hurt right now.
Yeah,
he's out.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And I think Kansas City would have paid up, or somebody like that, Tennessee Titans would have paid up for him.
But Kansas City, they're broke right now, brother. They had even the first year on Mahomes' big contract. After the first year of his big contract, he already had to restructure, brother, to get some pieces on that line.
But this is the thing about really great about Pat Mahomes' contract. He can move money for 10 years. He can move it this kind of like what New England used to do with Tom. They used to move it accordingly. They could put it all in the signing bonus. They could put $30 million into a signing bonus.
It was a whole lot easier for Tom Brady, brother, because his wife was worth 400 M's, brother.
But Pat Mahomes signed that deal.
$400 million for me, brother. She divorced me and took everything, brother.
Yeah, she did. That's right. I'm sorry. I was disingenuous to that.
Daddy loves you, Brooke.
Yeah, that's who I'm talking about, Brooke. That's who I'm talking about. Where's she at? I'm looking for her.
My son, he's doing drugs. He's crashing Ferraris. That was my Ferrari, the yellow one from the movie.
Oh, buddy.
All right,
I gotta get out of here, brothers.
Sounds good, Bo.
Yep.
To everybody out there, subscribe to the GMM Network on YouTube, dude. Say your prayers at night. Eat your vitamins. And when you're down with Hollywood Bo Hogan and Fantasy News Today, you're down for life.
Oh, but
All right. So we made it through all the news. So we're going to start getting to these questions. We're going back to the beginning of the show. So if you guys left questions within the last like 5-10 minutes, you're going to have to wait for a little bit. Just remember, if we didn't answer your question in 5 minutes, just wait longer. We got you. Starting off with Big Kong. What up? I've been preparing for an Eckler injury all season by picking up Khalil Herbert, Chuba Hubbard, Kenny Gainwell. Which one of these studs can fill in for Austin Eckler?
I'm going with Khalil.
You think he's going to get the most volume out of everybody?
Yes. Damian Williams, I'm not worried about him still in it, and David Montgomery's still not back, and Fields is still struggling. Khalil's looked the best in this offense the last couple of weeks, so I'm gonna go with Khalil. I like Kenneth, but I'm gonna be genuine. PPR, I like Kenneth, but
we always assume that it's a PPR league unless someone tells us it's standard.
But I'm still going with Khalil Herbert, though. I'm just saying PPR, okay. I can see somebody pivoting to Kenneth, but I still like Khalil Herbert as those guys in the vacuum.
Yep. And I'm going the same way. And a lot of it is because we've seen the kind of workload that Herbert's going to get. 49ers, they've been really bad against the run. So Herbert's probably not going to get too much pass work, but I think he's going to get the most overall touches compared to anybody here. And so I'm leaning on the safe side. That's what's got to be. I mean, we're talking about Austin Eckler. He's probably your RB1 on your team. So I feel like you got to play it a little bit safer with who you put in to replace him. And one of these guys may even end up in your flex. You know, who knows? But I mean, I'm going Herbert.
I agree with that 100%. I love what you said. That since you've taken out Eckler, you need to get something safe. You need to get something permanent. And I like that. So I agree with that 100%.
And hopefully Eckler comes back next week. He may play this week, but I'm already leaning on the side of him sitting. That's how I'm going to approach every single question this week until we find out something different. And Second Take Extra said, I called it. Packers. Definitely a trap game for them. Let's see. Yeah, Aaron Jones outscored D-Hop and Ertz. I'm so happy. Nice.
A.J. Dillon won that game.
A.J. Dillon's a savage. And Facebook user, what up? Hawk or Goddard this week? I'm leaning on the side of Goddard going up against Lions.
Yep, I want that offense. They high value passing. I'm going with Goddard. Even though Ertz is not efficient, it doesn't matter with the tight end. I just want him to keep throwing it. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Goddard.
Let's get it. Marcos, Herbert or Burrow this week? Burrow going up against the Jets and Herbert going up against Patriots.
I'm gonna go Herbert, and the reason why is the Jets are the number one pass defense. It's not because they good; it's because they so terrible on the run. So maybe this is a Joe Mixon 3 touchdown game. So I'm gonna say Herbert, just because I know he has to throw the ball to win this game. Burrow, he might throw it 15 to 20 times and take him out the fourth quarter.
When it comes to weeks like this and games like this for the Bengals going up against the Jets, middle of the season, I always try to look to next week because you never know. The matchups coming up in future weeks can always have impacts on matchups versus real shitty teams in the middle of the season. And they got the Brownies next week. They got a really important game next week. And I feel like if they go up early against the Jets, I mean, we may see Burrow leave early. We may see Mixon leave early. They may just give it up, to the backups. I mean, so unless I'm going Herbert, like for that big reason. And Patriots were the only team to hold down Herbert last year, to really like put the shackles on him. Chargers at home, I think Herbert overcomes that this year.
Yeah, especially with the Baltimore Ravens game. That was a learning experience for him. That didn't scare me at all, guys. I actually like that because this guy, he's only had a couple games like that. He needs games like that to get better. So I'm not worried about them shutting down. Austin Eckler bothers me a little bit, but I still like Herbert. I like his ceiling and his floor. So I'm okay with that.
One thing that sucks for fantasy is when your QB does really bad in a game where they get shit on. But in real life, you learn like a million times more from a real shitty game when you got your ass whooped than you do from a game where you just go shit on people. So just like TD said right now, I love it. It was a really bad game. He let a lot of us down, but he watched a lot of film over the last 2 weeks. You already know he did on his bye.
Yep.
All right. Michael Myers, what up? Said, hey, guys, back again with the fantasy help. You already know we are always here. And he said, I got to ask, people are saying start Jalen Hurts, start Jalen Hurts. Do you guys think buying up and getting Josh Allen, or do you think I'd be okay with Hurts this week?
I'm going to say go ahead and buy up for Josh Allen. Listen, man, I have Hurts in the league, and I feel terrible. I probably shouldn't even be saying this for the hustler because I might want to pitch Hurts to him, but I can't do it now because he knows I don't like him. But I got him because he is a dual threat, and I like dual threats in fantasy. But, yeah, man, go ahead and get Josh Allen, man, because, listen, with the Eagles being down, they might just don't even give a damn and say, let's play Gardner Minshew and do this, and I don't want no part of that. So if you can get Josh Allen, bro, I would do it.
Yeah, Josh Allen, I mean, he's just on a different caliber of QB than Jalen Hurts is. You know, if you can, I mean, that's a huge upgrade, even though Jalen Hurts has been awesome. The thing is, I mean, in some formats, Jalen Hurts is top 2. Other ones, he's top 5, top 6. So it really just depends on the format of your league. I wouldn't be giving him up for nothing. You know, that's for sure. But if I could do Hurts plus a bench player to get Josh Allen, or Hurts plus my flex or something like that to get Josh Allen, I'm doing that all day. Because Josh Allen's starting every single game. Like, there's no threat of him being benched or anything. Puff Puff Pass said, what up? Claypool, Waddle, Antonio Gibson at the flex. I'm leaning Claypool.
And you know I like Claypool. But I don't know, man. With Big Ben, this is a really great question, Puff Puff Pass. I'm going to go with Waddle. I'm going to go with the known commodity. I like how Tua been playing. I'm going to say Waddle, bro. And so, like you said, we're going to perceive this is already PPR. So I'm going to go with Waddle. I like Gibson too, man, but I'm going to say Waddle.
Yeah, Gibson, he's fallen a little bit from grace. Bad matchup versus the Broncos. I mean, it's on Halloween, so a lot of these guys who we think are going to flop, they're probably going to, do the exact opposite, because that's what happens. But we also got to be, our reputations are at stake here, so we can't be putting our reputation at stake for guys who've been flopping. Because I've stopped following like fantasy people, like listening to their content, because they ride or die so much with the same person, like no matter what. Because it's annoying. We got to be fluid with all the information that comes in. It changes week to week.
Yep, and also, and I don't know if you do this, but my personal teams, what I do personally is different than what I give out for as content. So me personally, I'm playing Gibson. It's just me, but I'm not going to tell you to do that because I want to give you the best player for your team. So in a vacuum, I would say Waddle would be the guy, but I'm playing Gibson myself.
I practice what I preach, like that's for sure. Like, I mean, there was weeks when I was pounding the table, for Jeremy McNichols, and like in leagues where I needed to pick up a running back, I picked him up and I played him. It's kind of tough with like a guy like Gibson, because if I'm on a team where I only got 2 running backs or whatever, I got to play him no matter what.
Exactly.
But there's another league where I got like 5 really good running backs, and Gibson just happens to be one of them, and I'm probably going to sit him down just because of other guys that I got who are, I feel better about playing.
And I agree. And guys, listen to what he said, because that's a big difference. Like sometimes certain players, that's why I want guys to go to my OnlyFans. Because if I can look at your whole team and look at it for a while and see what you have, I can give you a better assessment. But if I'm just looking at 3 players, I might tell you something that might be a little bit off. That's why I didn't say Gibson, because I would do Gibson. But I don't know your team. You probably got other good backs. So you could fade him and go to water and get the PPR guy that's going to get targeted like 10 times.
That's why you want to sign up on OnlyFans with TD, and that's why you want to get on my Patreon as well, because literally the same thing. Like, we're answering questions in a vacuum, and I'm telling you based on the 5 players that you're giving me. But I tell people, like, especially if you're asking like a trade question, what's your record? That literally makes a difference on my entire answer. What's your record? With your other running backs, like if you don't tell me every single running back you got, it's one of those things. I'm just going off of like what you're saying. But sometimes I look at people's lineups and guys that they have in their starting that are not even asking questions about. Sometimes I tell them to make changes or pick up free agents, like things like that. So that's why you want to get on TD's OnlyFans. That's why you want to go to patreon.com/FFHustler420, because we're helping you break shit down like nobody else is in this industry. Like nobody does this kind of stuff. They don't take the time for it.
Nope, you're another number to them, guys. You're another number to them.
Yep. And we're guys who are gonna make ourselves like full-time fantasy. This is the only way we're making money, and we're putting a lot back into your guys' teams to make sure you win, because if you don't win, you're not going to be coming back. So
exactly,
we're helping you win. All right, let me see, where do we leave off here? It shot me all the way down because a bunch more comments came in. There we go. And don't worry, guys, we're getting to everybody's questions, so just hang out. We're going to be doing Q&A for a while. If you want to jump the line, don't forget, just leave it as a super chat on my channel here. And don't forget, a $5 super chat or higher gets you an extra entry into the Alex Highsmith signed jersey giveaway. So that, as of right now, it's going down on Sunday. We're going to be doing it like about 1 hour before the games actually kick off, and you got to be there to win. So make sure you guys are tapping in on the Sunday show. Big Kong. Brian Flores said Tua will be the starter throughout the rest of the season if he's healthy. Does that mean they are still looking into Watson? So
go ahead, Hustle.
I think that anything is possible right now. I think that Watson could be traded to literally get put on the bench, and they could make the Texans eat that money, something like that. I mean, I'm hearing all this crazy type of stuff where there's like things in the trade clause where if something comes out negative about his case, that the whole trade gets reversed, shit like that. So it could be anything, but the trade deadline is this Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern. So we are literally going live like when the trade deadline is over on Tuesday.
So Flores is not the general manager. Every coach doesn't have general manager skills. They're not calling the shots. So Flores got to keep it PC because he needs Tua to play. So he's always going to tell Tua, you the starter. And he doesn't know what's going to happen because he's not the guys who's bringing in the players. So what he said is true. But if the general manager decide that we're going to make the trade, Watson will come in. And he could have a possibility of starting. But also he could get on that team and just sit on the bench and wait it out. And if I was the Miami Dolphins, I would say, listen, if I pick this guy up and he gets suspended for a whole year, only way I take that is, are you going to pay that whole year salary? Like, it's certain things that I'm going to ask for. Or I might not even want him if he gets suspended for a year because I can't even play him. My fans don't want him to play. So it's going to be a lot of caveats like this. So you just got to wait it out. And if you like Watson, you see him on your bench, just stash him. That's not going to hurt you at all, bro. Just stash him and see what happens.
You're stashing him through this week. If he doesn't get moved at all this week before the trade deadline, you're just dropping him because he's not going to play in a redraft league.
Yeah, redraft. Yeah,
in redraft league. But if he gets moved, we got to hold because we don't know what's going to happen. Like, we're literally, all this is new. This has never happened before, ever. So we just got to see how it all plays out. All right. And damn it, Francisco said, this fucked me hard. I got Cowboys +1 on several plays. That sucks. Without Dak, I don't think I'm winning shit. Damn, I know you do a bunch of parlays. I hope it works out for you.
Dallas defense is good, man. So maybe we can lean on the defense and win this game with the strong run game. Our offensive line is healthy. That's the number one thing. Is Lionel Collins, is he back, Hustler? Do you know? Collins. Lionel Collins, the guy that
you know what? I have no idea if he's back or not.
Okay.
We're going to have to Google that really quick.
Okay.
And Cooch Master, he said Zeke, Najee, Hendrickson, Chubb, start 3. So we got to sit 1. It's definitely not going to be Zeke with all this Dak stuff.
And definitely not Najee.
Yeah, you never sit Najee.
I say sit Henderson.
Henderson's going up against the Texans. Woo. And Sony Michel's been hurt all week too, man. This is tough.
I can't sit Chubb if he's healthy and he don't have an injury tag on him on Friday. I can't do that. If he scores 20 points, I'm gonna feel dumb on my bench, right? But if Henderson scores, how would you feel, Hustle, if Henderson scores 18 on your bench? You won't be as sad if Chubb does it, right?
Yeah, I mean, really the only way you're going to be sad is if Chubb does mediocre and Henderson does good. But, I mean, Chubb's going to get so much work in this game. Like Baker, they're going to be they always lean on the run anyways. Now with Baker hurt, they gotta lean on the run more. I mean, they just have to, yeah. So we're going with the draft stock here. You drafted Zeke high, you drafted Najee high, you drafted Chubb high. So Henderson gets the short end of the stick.
Great question, though, Cooch. Great question.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. All right, Lee Shakur, what up? Thanks for getting that super chat in. Let me get you marked down for the extra entry into the Alex Highsmith jersey giveaway. And trade question here. All right. And do me a favor with trades. I always like to know your record. So throw your record in the comments so I can read that out here as well. Should I trade Antonio Brown and Barkley for DK, Amari Cooper, Javonte Williams? I have CD, Deontay, AK, JT, Higgins, and Eli Mitchell. Okay, Axelcution, that was you with the super chat. Lee Shakur, this your backup account? Oh, and they said not me. Okay, so Lee Shakur, put in your record in the chat there just so we could see. And so this one is kind of tough here because I feel like Barkley. I mean, he could be back this Monday. They're already talking about him, getting some work this week. For Monday games, the Saturday practice is most important. So tomorrow, that's all the news that is going to be important for that game. Mm-hmm. Antonio Brown's been so good, but I don't know. The dude's on crutches right now. Like, it's just not really sounding good for him. DK, and to get DK, Amari, and Javonte Williams back. I mean, I get the only reason that I'm really considering it. You got Alvin Kamara and you got Jonathan Taylor. So I mean, like right off the bat, like Barkley really hasn't. He's really not making a difference. Like missing games, on your team.
I don't think Amari Cooper and Javonte Williams is big enough to make that move, though, Hustler. He's got Barkley. So I just say play those bell cows. Let Barkley get healthy and play Jonathan Taylor and Alvin Kamara until he does. And you have a killer. You have a killer squad.
And there we go. 4-3. 4-3 is their record.
I think he still can afford to do that.
That makes me want to hold even more, being 4-3. If I was, if you had a losing record or something, maybe that's a reason to try to like get a little bit more depth, get an extra starter, in there. But I'm just going to hold. Antonio Brown is going to be on your bench for a little bit. Barkley's about to come back. And since you got Kamara, Jonathan Taylor, and you're going to have Barkley in your flex, like that's going to be pretty nasty.
And Elijah Mitchell. And he has Elijah Mitchell. So
yeah. I say hold. Mm-hmm. Don't need to do any panic trades right now. That's for sure. Got a long way ahead. Most playoffs don't start until week 15. So we got still a handful of weeks, for people to make their moves.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. Where are we back at? Oh, here we go. Nick T on YouTube. He said, sell high on Aaron Jones or keep him. So we got to have context, behind something like this. Like if you're in a losing effort right now, I mean, that's always a reason to sell some of your good players, as if you're in a losing position, you're trying to get like 2 or 3 players, for depth. But I don't know. What do you think, TD? Like, I mean, are you a guy who's even selling, like in any situation, a guy like Aaron Jones? And I know you probably don't have him, because you go 0 RB. But is he a guy you keep no matter what? Or does it all depend on what your season's looking like?
So it's only a certain guys that I would trade, like because I'm not a big trader of trading my talent. But Aaron Jones to me has always been volatile with injuries, but he's been doing great this year. So I have to, I have to give him his respect, his due. But listen, I've been saying it because of what AJ Dillon is, and I guess you are asking this question because of what you seen last night, and I've been saying this the whole time. Yes, I think you could, because I think you can get something good for Aaron Jones because his value is high to make your team better. And I'm okay with it because I just don't think he's going to play all 15 weeks and be a top 3 RB. He could be, but I think I'm okay with doing it. And that's just me. It's me personal. Aaron Jones is a great player, so Just my preference. What you think, Hustler?
Well, before we get to my thoughts, we're gonna bring in. He's back. Okay. Bogard Scott free in the building.
Yeah. Now because normally I go swoop the kids, but my girl went to go do it. So you know what I mean. I'm like, all right, I'll stay with the kids at the crib. You know what I mean.
There we go. And so I think what we saw last night. I mean, I'm not saying it was predictable, but we did have Iggy on the show a little bit earlier in the week. He's been on twice this week. He comes in on Monday and he comes in on Thursday. And he said it was super weird how A.J. Dillon got like no work last week. And he said he really expected a really huge run game out of the Packers and especially out of A.J. Dillon. And I started A.J. Dillon, and I mean, I have him in a bunch of places. I wasn't as high on him as you were, TD, but I was very high on Dillon, especially in Dynasty, because of where you could get him and because of the split with him and Aaron Jones. He had more fucking carries than Aaron Jones did yesterday. 16 carries to Aaron Jones 15.
Look at the snap counts for the past couple of weeks too. This isn't something that just came up. This has been like the formula's been there for AJ Dillon to get a lot of work because he's getting a lot of snaps. Like he was getting like 45% at like a week ago. So last night didn't surprise me. But this is what's funny to me though too is like I started AJ Dillon in a couple of spots. You know what I mean? And it's just funny because it seemed like the whole game was him, right? But then he didn't really do much in fantasy, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because they actually, and this is terrible. And we're gonna get to. I see this question later in the chat, so Hustle will get to it. But I don't know why in the hell did they didn't want to give him those goal line touches for AJ Dillon. They was using him and then patty caking Aaron Jones to get the touchdown. So that shit was bullshit. I didn't like
Aaron Jones is worth how much money? What's his contract worth right now?
Guaranteed that he's gonna get, I think it's only 20, the guaranteed money, but I think it's $40 million the whole contract.
48. Yeah.
What's guaranteed on it? What's the guaranteed money?
13.
And that's what I told Bogard earlier, and he told me, he said, I didn't know that, TD. But yeah, that's all they owed him is $13 million, so they can pay him that next year and cut him. I don't know why he sounded a deal like that.
I didn't know that. I was like, oh wow, okay, and then it made me hella happy that I got AJ Dillon in the gang of spots in Dynasty. I'm like, okay, word for sure, TD. You know what I'm saying? TD got the intel, bro. I didn't realize his contract was front loaded with guarantees and shit like that. Like, you know what I mean?
You know why he did it that way? Because if Aaron Rodgers is out, who the hell is going to want to play on the Packers?
Okay. but he got his deal before Aaron went rogue, though. He got his deal way before Aaron went rogue.
Here's the thing. If Kirk Cousins can walk free next year, I would love him to go over to Green Bay.
That'd be wild.
Because he's already running the similar system. You know what I mean? Like he's running the Kubiak system, which is and which is a Shanahan system, and the LaFleur system is Shanahan-esque as well. So there's a lot of zone runs. It's similarities. Like I would love all the fantasy pieces there because we know for what it's worth, my man Corky Kirk, he can produce. He can have our receivers produce in fantasy.
Oh, so some news just came in right now. It said Pete Carroll says there's no update on Chris Carson just yet, who's eligible to return from IR next week. No timetable at all for his recovery.
Guys, I've said it, and I hate to say this. His career probably is over, and I'm not wishing that on anybody because I played running back in high school, and I love Chris Carson running style. I ran like that. I ran hard. Listen, they gave him the bad. Pete Carroll's like, listen, we're not going to do him wrong. We're going to pay him, and if we have to move on from him, that's fine. But he's going to take some money with him because he's done a lot for us for the last 3 years. And that's what that deal was. I don't care what anybody says.
And let's see. So from Big Kong, what up? Said Hawkinson removed from the injury report on Friday. Said, wow, he's usually questionable going into the game. Yep, that's why we didn't even talk about him. Their offense just really sucks. Like all around is what it is. But you got him, you play him. It just it is what it is. Hawkinson, he's not on the injury report on for once on Friday.
Hey, I'm a crazy vato, bro. After week 1, if I had any Hawkinson, I would have been moved him.
Yep.
I'm like that because I never bought into Hawkinson like that. You know what I mean? because he was, but mainly where he was being drafted. Like I wasn't finna spend no 5th round on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, wasn't worth it to me. I wasn't buying into the hype that he was going to be, 100+ reception tight end and 10, touchdown plus guy. Nah, no way. That offense just they can't sustain it.
Yep.
Steven, what up, bro? Steven Drake's in the building, throwing in that super chat. I got you with that extra entry, bro, into the Alex Highsmith jersey giveaway. Should I start P. Ryan half PPR this week, or how we feel about the Eckler injury and picking up Jackson just in case?
Man, I mean, I guess I mean, if he has both of them, and I'm assuming this is a deep league right here, right? Is this?
Yeah, gotta be.
You're talking my language right here. I pick up Jackson if I can. Then if there's no Eckler, I'm playing Jackson. If Eckler plays, you play P. Ryan, because that's ugly too. And we're just hoping that they're whooping ass so bad that P. Ryan's gonna get work at the end, because they know they have to be smart with how they use Mixon. You know what I mean?
Isn't P. Ryan out?
Nah.
No, it's Evans.
Oh, it's Evans. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's okay to play, bro. I wish I would know what's on your waivers. Like Michael Carter, Brandon Bolden. I would rather play these guys than going to P. Ryan.
No way, Michael Carter's too much. He's too much.
That's true. You're probably right. But that's Brandon Bolden, something like that. Philip Lindsay. I even like Philip Lindsay.
I think I'm going with P. Ryan. I mean, with Chris Evans being out, we already know they're going to whoop that Jets ass. He's going to get in there. Like we talked about it when you weren't on here, okay. Bogart. So they got the Browns in week 9.
Oh no, I was listening. Yeah, like that's a marquee matchup. You know what I mean? And like we've seen people kind of sleep like this, man. I'm not saying that the Bengals are going to lose, but like this is one of those games they should just mow them over quickly and then be like, all right, number 2, get in there. You know
okay. I mean? And I can see that.
But here's another thing too. This is the same. This is basically the same Jets team from last year, right? Just different coaches and different QB, right? But same situation again. Now they got the backup QB in there, and it's going to be ugly, right? But like, that's how they beat the Rams last year, and then the Browns. Remember that? They went on a 2-week tear real quick.
Real ugly.
I'm not saying that this week because it's White Mike. You know what I mean? He's not the great white hope. You know what I mean?
Oh, and actually, so which way did you go on that TD? So I was for P. Ryan, Bogart was for Jackson. Which way you leaning on that?
I go ahead and play P. Ryan. I would try to go to my waiver wire and pick up somebody, a PPR back like a Brandon Bolden. But if he's not there, then P. Ryan is what you have to do. So that's fine.
Bolden's probably interesting too because I think the game script will have him active. So I like that Brandon Bolden call. And like he's just a veteran that they're trusting with the rookie when they need to go hurry up. You know what I mean? Because and then but the reason I was saying Jackson, if there is no Eckler, like if he could hold both of them, because then if not, then you could just cut Jackson and start P. Ryan. You know what I mean? You might even be able to just do that. No one's gonna pick up P. Ryan. You know what I mean? Unless you're the Mixon owner, I need to do that in a couple spots. Actually, I just got to get all the way insured. This year, just you know what I mean. This year is more so about. It's not just about making the right starts. It's about just being the guy who doesn't have hella injuries. You know what I mean?
Yeah, got to keep making moves. And Gabriel said, can't understand why Dylan didn't get the goal line touches yesterday. This must be that one that TD was talking about. He averaged over 5 yards a carry. Jones about 3. I think they could have decided the game earlier.
This is why, though. Because when you're in those goal line packages, you have Aaron Jones out there because he can pass pro, one, and he's a threat in the passing game. He's not just the guy who's going to catch the ball out the back. He can run routes too. You know what I mean? So he can create mismatches. That's why you have Aaron Jones out there. Because if you have AJ Dillon, see, and that's why every week too they're consciously trying to involve him in the passing game. They want to get that mystique going. You know what I mean? Where you can't what they're finna do. You don't become one-dimensional. You're one-dimensional if you put AJ Dillon out there because they're like, oh, they're gonna run it. You know what I mean?
I agree with that, but this is what we say to us in fantasy: don't get cute. They got cute. They got cute. I'm talking about the goal line run. AJ Dillon would have got that easy. They should have beat the Cardinals by 14 points. That was easy.
Here's another reason why. He's had fumble issues, and on that run,
just one game, Bogard.
I was like
one game.
Hold on. I was like this. I was like, oh my God, he's gonna run one in. He gets taken down. And then when he gets taken down, he damn near fumbles the ball again. And then but he got on it. And then you know what I'm saying? But so that could be another reason why, because the next immediate play they took him out, put Aaron Jones in. You know what I mean?
Okay. And I take that, but he's a young running back. If you ain't Bill Belichick, I don't want to hear about you doing that shit. If you know only Bill got the cachet to do that. Anybody else, you got to keep feeding the guy. If he fumble, if Dalvin Cook fumble, you give it to him again, unless he fumble like 5 times. Same thing with Adrian Peterson. He fumbled like 5 times in the game. They never benched him.
Here's another thing too. With Aaron Rodgers, it's about trust.
Okay.
I remember, you know how first side story. He was on when he goes on the Mack show every Tuesday. I remember last year when AJ Dillon had that big game on a Sunday night against Tennessee in the snow. Remember that shit?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And he had the Derrick Henry game, not Derrick.
135-1.
And then so they asked Aaron Rodgers the Pat McAfee's like, hey man, he's a stud, man. He's like, yeah, he is. And he's like, if he's like in the game, Aaron Rodgers is like, he has his hands behind his back and he's telling him where to run. He's telling him he had to tell AJ Dillon where to run. So he's like, he has his hands behind his back. He's signaling with his thumb, left or right. You know what I mean? Because he doesn't know how to pick shit up either. Right? So and then I think going to Cobb for the 2 touchdowns, he would have had 3 or could have had 3.
Yeah.
But went to Cobb because it's the trust factor.
Okay. I take that. That's 100. That's 100. I know how Aaron Rodgers is. So what you said, I like that. But it doesn't. I'm still giving it to AJ Dillon, but I'm not going to be inconsiderate of what you're saying because that is very true.
It's coming. This is only a foreshadow of what I would expect. The weather's going to get cold.
Yep.
He's like, he could be a league winner, AJ Dillon.
Yep.
Could be.
Yep.
Like,
all right, let's knock out some of these questions. We got a grip right now, so let's knock out a bunch here. Manny T says Ridley for Lockett and Sanders. I'm holding.
Ridley for Lockett and Sanders. Yeah, holding.
Facebook user said Gibson logs a full practice today. We playing him. I don't trust him after the last few performances. So we talked about it a little bit earlier. It really just depends on your options because there's leagues where I'm forced to play him. There's leagues where I have a couple other options where I don't got to play him. So all depends on your options.
Hey, listen, I'm playing Gibson, bro. I am not scared.
I like that, Bogard. I like that.
Broncos.
He's Antonio Banderas, bro. You got him. You got to rock with him.
Ward Willis, what up? Says Mike Davis droppable at this point. If you're in I would say maybe a 10-team league, maybe he's droppable, but 12 teams and above, you got to hold.
Yeah. The question should have been, is he startable? Right now, flex worthy.
Yeah, at best. And let me see. Zeb said, what up? If no Dak, then sit Lamb for Sutton. I would. It's tough, though. It's really tough because Lamb, I feel like, is going to get force-fed either way.
And because Lamb plays a lot in the slot. Here's another thing. Cortland Sutton is playing against Washington, bro, and they just give it up every week. I'm like, I'm actually going to start the one share of Jared Judy I have. I'm about to start him this week just based on the fact that this matchup, everyone eats on them. You know what I mean?
I would go to Sutton too because of what Bogard said. Because Washington gives up a lot, and then Lamb, I think he has a chance for maybe 1 touchdown, but he's not going to get peppered at all because he don't have a quarterback that can give him the ball. I'd rather go with Sutton.
I'm okay. I think they're going to run so much. If it says Cooper Rush, they're still going to run. They're still going to run a lot. They already run a lot with Dak, right? And now if it's Cooper Rush, you're going to stack the box. You're going to give me single covered against maybe if Gallup plays this game or if it's maybe a Cedric Wilson, someone on the outside opposite because of Patrick Peterson, because Patrick Peterson he's gonna be on Cooper. You know what I mean?
So what did we end up deciding on this? We sitting Lamb for Sutton.
Yeah, I mean he called it if there's no Dak, but when are we gonna know? He might. This
Zeb will be tapped in. This is, I mean, either way, he'll be here. He'll be here. So which way you going, Sutton too, Bogey? As of today, our answers could change every single day. That's what everybody needs to remember.
Yeah, I'm going Cortland Sutton. That was my original answer, and based on I'm living in a world without Dak this week. I believe he won't play.
Yeah, I mean, he was limited in practice today, so I mean that's better than not practicing, but not looking good either way.
It's just, remember I brought this up the other day. It's just the fact that he's coming off a bye and then now it becomes an issue. It's like it's been an issue. They try to downplay it from the beginning. They're like saying, "Oh, he would have been able to go back in the game." Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like immediately after, but like the next morning, you know what I mean? And then let alone 2 weeks later, and he's still wounded. So I think they shouldn't play him this week.
Yeah, and JC Money Design coming through with the super chat. I can't pull it up on the screen because I don't want to lose my spot here, but he said I'll be on for the Friday Night Lights. So yeah, that's going down a little bit later than last week. We're actually starting at 10:05 Eastern, 7:05 Pacific. So make sure you guys tap in. That's gonna be tonight. JC Money Design is gonna be in the building and said, "P.S. Y'all my heroes." There we go.
No.
100, bro.
JC Money, you are our hero.
You the man. You the man. And Donnie R said, pick one for the flex. Hubbard, Darrell Williams, or Gainwell. I feel like someone else asked this a little bit earlier.
It's going to sound ugly. I'm going Hubbard. I like it's Atlanta. Let's run on him.
I'm leaning double-barrel Darrell.
Oh, you're right, though, because you could run all over them, too. But you know what, though? You could hella pass on whatchamacallit on the Giants, too. So I would assume this is a big get-back game. Maybe I'm kind of more banking on, like, 60 all-purpose yards, and maybe he gets into the end zone when I'm thinking about Darrell Williams. We've already seen that he can get in there twice and just piss off a Patrick Mahomes owner. You know what I mean?
But, what do you think? What do you think, TD?
So I can't give you no straight answer because you didn't give enough intel. So I'm just gonna give you the ceilings and the flows. The safe play is Hubbard. He's gonna get 15 touches. Mm-hmm. The guy with the most upside is Gainwell. He can have 2 touchdowns. He can get he can have 7 to 8 targets in the pass game and a few runs too.
He can have 7 receptions.
Yes. So he can have 15 touches too. That's the guy with the most upside. Darrell Williams is just the even kill safe play. You can't get mad whatever you see from it because Kansas City loves to throw the ball around. Mm-hmm. So he could even give you 5 points or he could give you 15 or 20. It's just you can't expect too much out of Darrell. But I'm gonna say Hubbard for the safe play and Gainwell for the upside.
I'm going Hubbard.
And life and sports talk with Jake. What up? Is AJ Brown all good? Yep.
Yes, sir.
Didn't practice today because they're resting him.
Yep, he's straight.
Mr. Grapefruit, what up? He said, pick one Halloween costume for me. Wario, Chef Boyardee, or a beer bottle?
Wario.
Yeah. Take it all the way back.
Yeah. And then eat mushrooms.
Yeah. Execution. I got a trade offer for my Saquon Bobby Trees for his Zeke.
That's not bad. I'm doing that.
Yeah, I would too.
Give me Zeke.
Who's Bobby Trees?
Robert Woods.
Oh, okay. So he said I got offer for my Saquon. He's going to get Robert Woods and Zeke for Saquon?
No. They want Woods and Saquon, and they're going to give him Zeke. I'm doing that.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't need too much context to say that you want to get Zeke over Saquon.
And I agree with you, but I think Saquon is going to be special. Man, he was about to go off. He's about to be the number 1 RB.
When though? Next year?
But it depends. That's why what you say, Hustler. Give you your record, right? So if this guy's 6-1, what would you tell him to do if he's 6-1, Hustler?
I mean, if he's 6-1, I'm gonna say just go for it. I mean, Zeke should be like money in the bank. Oh, and you know what? He did give his record, and he said 6-1.
Yeah,
he did give his record a little bit later, and it was to give the context behind his trade. So he is 6-1. I say get a little bit more top heavy If Robert Woods is not like your wide receiver 2, I say do it.
Yeah, I like that idea.
I like the Saquon side.
I mean, listen, Saquon, you want to know what's always my main concern with Saquon is not even the injury, because everyone can get injured, right? My concern with him is he's never going to get no receptions like that. He gets sprinkled in a little bit, but like I feel like anytime I think of Saquon, I'm chasing the Eli Manning version of him. You know what I mean?
I like his targets before he got hurt.
Yeah, he's just been hurt. Like that's really what it's.
Yeah, he was getting 6 targets. He was getting like 6 targets a game in the past game before he got
hurt.
hurt.
That was just the Saints game because they went into overtime.
I thought
so. The big reason why I'm even leaning on this. I mean, I don't do running back for this reason because you're barely moving the needle. But here's why the needle is moving more for Zeke. He's already had his bye week. Yep. Saquon still has the bye week in week 10. So no matter what, you're moving him. You're getting that extra game out of him. That's why I would do a move like this now.
That's true.
Look at the schedule too. That schedule is like I remember I glanced at it a couple days ago. I was like, oh, okay. Like I like the Cowboys schedule. It's gonna be feasting for Zeke.
Yeah, I mean, well, and Saquon probably plays a similar schedule. They both play in the same division.
I just don't trust Danny Dumbass, and like, I mean, you would assume, right, with Jason Garrett there that he would just run, right? He had Zeke before, and yeah, you have Saquon. I know you don't have the same line, but
Zeke don't do well without that too, or at least we've seen that.
Usually doesn't, probably because he doesn't give a fuck. Like, I mean,
yeah.
Minaru Cole, what up? T. Higgins, Amari Cooper, Dalton Schultz. What receiver would you trade them for in a deal? I have Mike Williams and Cooper Kupp already. I mean, wide receiver for wide receiver trades. I mean, I have no idea who you.
Well, people need tight end. He threw Dalton Schultz in there. So if someone needs a tight end, I go after like a Jared Jeudy or someone, something to complement. Something like you have your big hitter Rick Kupp. Then you have Williams, who is also a big hitter, but like you need someone that's just steady, and that would be like a Jared Jeudy. You could probably get him for Dalton Schultz if that owner is tight end needy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Instead of players, that's what we're going to tell you to go look for. Go look for a tight end needy team, and if you want to package up a Dalton Schultz plus a T. Higgins or Dalton Schultz plus Amari Cooper, maybe you can get the best wide receiver off of their squad.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, just start shooting the offers out. Everybody needs a tight end. You know what I mean? And like,
go look at who needs one the worst. That's where you do it. Life and Sports Talk with Jake. I got options if Eckler don't go. Collins or Marvin Jones Jr. to put in the flex.
Marvin Jones Jr.
Marvin Jones.
Yeah, Seahawks. If there's ever going to be a game where he would do something, it better be this one.
Listen, he's been eating. I have a ton of Marvin Jones. That's why I know. He's been eating.
Aiden, what up, Aiden? Said trade Eckler, Keenan, Woods for Devontae, Adams, Gaskin, and Amari.
Eckler, Keenan.
I don't know. I'm holding. I mean,
yeah,
it's too even for me. 3 for 3. Like, you're winning on one, you're losing on the other. Like, I don't like it.
Well, I would say only way to do it. I agree with those, but because Eckler got a hip injury, I might would do it to get away from that Eckler, to get Devontae Adams. I'm not big on the Gaskin or Amari, but Devontae Adams, he could make your team boom. I don't know your team, but I think he could. Just because it's Devontae Adams, he's getting super targeted. So I can see myself doing it. Because I'm scared. I'm scared about the Eckler. I don't want you to get caught with your pants down.
And everyone with Eckler definitely could happen. And Axel Cusin said the strap, the belt, brother. That's what he was talking about earlier.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Sean, what up? I picked up Michael Carter over Pollard and Gainwell for the rest of the season. Not the next 1 to 3 weeks. Did I make the right move?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd rather have Michael Carter than those two. And Zeb, Woods or Sutton?
Sutton.
Yeah, I'm going Sutton versus Washington. Let's see. Zeb, what up? Hawk or Goddard? Oh, I think we answered this one earlier. I think we went Goddard.
Mm-hmm.
Second Take Extra said, feel bad for your Cowboys, TD.
Yeah, and I said I'm okay, bro. I'm good. I'm so entrenched in fantasy, man. I hope my guys they do well, but I'm entrenched in fantasy. I'm just trying to get my fantasy championship.
You know, my girl, right? My girl.
Fantasy ruined me with my team. I used to be a hellified Cowboys fan, and once I got entrenched in fantasy, I'm gonna be honest. I don't give a damn.
Hey, real talk. I love my Niners. That used to be like the only football I really watched.
Me too. Me too.
And then like, what's crazy is when I my Niners got bad, I even love my Niners more because I'm now playing fantasy. I start everybody against my Niners. I'm like, hell yeah, I fucking love them. You know what I mean? Go to the games, watch my guys go off, right? No, but here's the thing. What's crazy about my Niners right now? Like, like everyone's like, oh, because the Cowboys have big expectations, so it sucks. Like they're getting nightmares of last year, right? Like, oh no, how hurt is he? You know what I mean? Like they're tripping, as they should. And when I watch my Niners, bro, like this year, I feel like that's what's happening to them again, because like they're just all hurt again, just like last year. You know what I mean? It's just happening all over again. You see them, they're playing with like you see the guys, they're not as juiced anymore. Before they used to have like hella brotherhood out there. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, it's going the wrong direction for my Niners. The Cowboys, they just need to do the smart thing and not play Dak right now. You know what I mean? Fuck our fantasy leagues, right? Go ahead.
That's what I said to Hustler earlier about that.
Yep. And then Second Take Extra, no go from Gallup as well, more than likely. Yeah, I mean, especially with no Dak, like why even like just give him an extra week too?
D. Ernest Johnson or Cedric Wilson in a 14-team super flex? Cedric Willis. Hey, Mr. Oh no, Wilson. Yeah, hey, Mr. Wilson.
D. Ernest.
Yeah,
that's what I got in there. Okay.
Miguel said, "What up, Hustler? What's going on, bro?" Let's see. Ooh. Sean E.G. said, "Drop Dearness Johnson for Lance now."
No,
not enough context. Not enough context.
Don't do that.
Gotta wait. Second Take Extra. Would you trade Visca for Gainwell? If you need an RB, I would.
Yep, I agree with Hustler. What he said.
Chandler Brunelli. What up? What should I package with Waller and Tyreek? I have Goddard. My wide receiver to package are Ridley, Woods, and Waddle, and Higgins and Parker.
What is he trying to get?
Yeah, I know that didn't really he didn't help us on that. I'm not sure. But I guess one thing that always kind of makes me laugh is like it seems like Waller and Tyreek are the ones that they're sending away, and then in quotes is I have Goddard. Like Goddard's a reason to like trade Waller away. It's not.
Exactly. It's not. And I don't know how you feel about tight ends, but because my tight ends have bad games, because it's tight end in any other position, I get it. But bro, Wallace, you got the sauce. You got the sauce. Just hold on to him. And play Goddard while he's hurt.
The only time I'm trying to do something like that with a big name like Waller, like because his name is big, and we're only moving him for the obvious because we don't like the production. But someone else that doesn't have him might not be paying attention as much, and the name is big. So I'm trying to go after a big name too. I'm going after Cooper Kupp. I'm going after guys like that. You know what I mean? I'm packaging up Waller with Calvin Ridley or you know what I mean? Maybe not Calvin Ridley, but maybe like a Robert Woods or I'm trying to package something up to get something phenomenal. I'm not, you know what I mean? I don't like trading lateral. Like lateral trades to me aren't just running back for running back. Because I've done stuff like that because I'm looking at the schedule. You know what I mean? Like that, there's a reason why I'm doing it. I'm not just like, I like this guy better. I like the schedule better. You know what I mean? I'm doing that. Other than that, it's you know what I mean? Like you gotta feel like you're winning the trade.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean you drafted Waller in the second or third round more than likely, unless you have a super shallow league. Like I know that once we're out of the draft, wherever you drafted him doesn't make a difference. But if you go back to last year, I'm not saying Waller sucked before the fantasy playoffs, but he was kind of hit or miss before the fantasy playoffs. But everybody remembers him for his huge run because he won everybody championships if you still had him. But there was a lot of people I know who got to the point of like not playing him. But guess what? He's still going to boom sooner or later. And you want him to boom on someone else's team, go ahead and ship him off, but don't be foolish.
And here's step 2 of the move, right? Because right now they're on their bye week. We don't really have too much information on Waller. What we do know from our inside source, like that we actually have legit on Waller, is that like he is, he's hurt. He's been hurt. You know what I mean? So When
with multiple injuries.
I'm trying to make a blockbuster trade to get me some blockbuster shit for my Darren Waller, right? And then immediately, since it's a package deal more than likely, I have extra spot. I'm going to grab Foster Moreau because I wouldn't be surprised if, like, in 2 weeks he's still not hurting. I mean, if he's still hurting, they're like, we're going to shut you down. You know what I mean? Like, say in 2 weeks they lose the next 2 games maybe or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, you never know.
I don't see that happening. I mean, with the Raiders being 5-2, I mean, shit.
Oh, you're right. I forgot their record because I keep just assuming they suck. I forgot. So yeah, they're gonna need him. Okay.
So even if they shut him down for a couple weeks, I mean, we got a long 17-game fantasy football season. So we're talking about weeks 15, 16, and 17 when he is most important to your team.
Yep.
He's someone you stash. He's someone you go buy right now for hella low. If people are like you just trying to get away from him, And second take extra said I get Visca. That was Visca for Gainwell. Then hell no, I ain't doing that. I'm holding on to Gainwell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's an RB. He's an RB.
He was drafted by this regime. You know what I mean?
To be something.
Yep. To me, he was a top 5 running back in his draft class, but people didn't look at him that way. But I thought he was.
I viewed him that same way. He was the best. He was the best.
Yep.
He was the best pass catching running back.
Yep.
I had him like 5th. You know what I mean? I even had Michael Carter was like my 3rd favorite running back in the class.
I had Puka Williams over those. That's another stream. I had Puka Williams over those 2.
Javonte Williams was my favorite though, and I actually dug the landing spot with Pat Shurmur, and like because Pat Shurmur's the guy that drafted Barkley and drafted Dalvin Cook in Minnesota. You know what I mean? Like he was the coordinator involved in that process. But then fucking Melvin Gordon just fucking just fucking Melvin Gordon, dude.
But remember what John, and I'm giving you some gas right here. Remember what happened with Jonathan Taylor? It takes a little bit of time sometimes. Javonte gonna get his, so that's why he's a great buy low guy right now. Because second half of the season, once they say, "Well, look, Melvin, we done with you." What if Monday we wake up, Melvin Gordon traded to the Kansas City Chiefs? Javonte Williams, you can go ahead and I already have Javonte Williams ready for that, and that happens for a rookie running back down later in the season for your playoffs. Look at Cam Akers.
Say it one more time, TD. Let's will that into existence. It's going to happen. That would be so dope if Melvin Gordon this Monday gets traded away to I have no idea who, but anywhere except for the Denver
Ravens.
Get him off the team.
The
Ravens.
The Chiefs.
Oh, man, no.
They're going to get Clyde back in a few weeks.
But Clyde, what is Clyde? And I'm going to talk about Clyde the way you do OBJ. I'm going to do Clyde the way you do OBJ. He's nothing. But
he's a first round draft pick.
I just don't see him trading in conference. That's really the only thing I don't see him.
Okay. Yeah. That's true.
I mean, shit, you might. I mean, you know what's funny is there's a couple things that what does the Broncos need besides picks, right? That you can look at it like that. What is the Ravens
quarterback?
They need a lot of shit. They need to stay healthy is what they need. Well, for Miguel, here we go. Defense streamers: Chargers, Browns, Chiefs, Colts, Washington. I think I'm going the Chargers over the Patriots.
Yes. I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
Yeah, I mean maybe. No, I was gonna say the Colts, but no, the Colts' good schedule doesn't really kick in overall until next week versus the Jets. But I would pick them up if you could pick them up a week early, and stash them. I'd definitely do that. Let's see. Yeah, and Antonio said if you could stream the Bengals, I'd do it versus White Mike or Mike White.
Yep.
Leo De Loreto, what up? Oh, we already answered this a little earlier. Burrow or Herbert? Going Herbert. All right. Second take extra. Okay. Now I'm still going with Gainwell.
Me too.
Mark, what up? Let's see. Tony, Emmanuel Sanders, Gibson, Marvin Jones, full point PPR, need 2 to flex.
Gibson and Emmanuel Sanders. Well, who's the Tony?
Kadarius Toney, I'm assuming.
Oh, never mind. Kadarius Toney and Gibson. Oh no, Kadarius Toney and Marvin Jones.
I'm going Toney and Gibson on this one. Yeah. Tomorrow's practice is going to be super important, but Toney was out there practicing a little bit today, and versus that Chiefs team, yeah, I want it. I want him everywhere that I can have him.
Me too.
Life and sports talk with Jake, Hawkinson, or Schultz. I think I'm going Schultz, or no, I think I'm going Hawkinson on this one over Schultz.
Yeah, I guess I got to go with Hawkinson and go with Hawkinson. I would do it if Dak was there. I would go with Schultz, and I would still want to go with Schultz but Blake Jarwin's there too. So I'm gonna say Hawkinson.
There we go. And Miguel, what up? Would you trade Hubbard for Gibson? Hell yeah. You're talking about receiving Gibson, yes, I would do that.
Yes.
Hubbard more than likely is not going to be the starter for the entire season. More than likely. Who knows? Gabriel, what up? Sit one. Devonta Smith, Waddle, Hilton. I'm going Waddle on this.
You going to sit Waddle?
Oh, sit one. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I thought it was start one. Okay. No. Sorry. That's the one that I'd be playing.
Yeah.
As of right now, I'm sitting T.Y. Hilton because I don't know 100% that he's playing or not. So tap back in Saturday, Sunday, when we know for sure, T.Y. Hilton's status. But as of right now, just in case, I'm saying sit Hilton.
And I'm even going farther. I'm going to go farther with that. I don't care if Hilton's playing or not. He's not better. I'm not going to put him over Devontae Smith and Waddle because they are the number ones on their team. And he's a number one, but not like he's a deep threat. He's like a Marquise Brown type deep play.
There we go. And Nick, what up? We already answered this one. Stokely Hampton on Facebook. Bro, I need two flex for PPR. Tyler Lockett, Alex Collins, Cole Beasley, McKissick. I can also pick up P. Ryan or Toney on the waiver wire. Yes. Drop Cole Beasley, pick up Toney. It's either drop Alex Collins or Cole Beasley to pick up Toney. But I'm doing one of those two, and I'm picking up Toney right away.
So how many people he need to drop? Do he need to drop? He says, bro, I need two flex for PPR. Okay, you need two. And he's saying
so he needs to start two. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm starting Toney. We all agree with Toney. And I like Cole Beasley in a PPR league. I love him this week, especially with Knox being out.
Yeah. I know.
I say Alex Collins
would be the drop.
Yes, because McKissick and Tyler Lockett. Once Russell Wilson gets back, Lockett's going to be okay. McKissick, you got to handcuff him, especially with Gibson's injury. So it's got to be Collins.
Yep, and it's tough for me between Cole Beasley and McKissick as far as like playing, and I almost think I got to go McKissick because he's been like one game on, one game off, one game on, one game off. So I'm going to take the names out of it and just think that this is going to be his on game. I'm going to drop Collins for Toney, play him, starting McKissick. Juke, how confident are y'all that CMC stays healthy and off IR? I don't know. 50% confident?
I would say 100%, but I think Carolina Panthers, their regime is dropping the bag. Why in the hell would you try to practice them in practice that early as they did? That was dumb. That was dumb last year, what they did. Listen, that type of player with that type of skill set, and he's automatically staying out 4 to 5 weeks, 100% healthy. I'm bringing him back slow every time. So, guys, I would expect CMC to come back this year into maybe I would give it even 2 or 3 more weeks. So, I think when he comes back, he's going to be fully healthy. Hopefully, they learned their lesson.
And I don't even think he can officially come back until like week 9 or something. Week 10 maybe is like I think officially when he can come back. But
okay,
yeah, you got to just assume that he's going to be a stash for a while. And Nick, Zach Moss or Javonte Williams this week? Javonte Williams for me.
Javonte Williams for me too.
Chandler Brunelli said, looking ahead to week 9, I need a QB. Got Brady and bye. Should I drop LaVisca for Teddy, Wentz, Heineke, or Winston? I say Wentz because they're going up against the Jets.
Yes,
And,
he's right. He's right. I agree with him.
So let me see. I'll read off the other one just in case. So Teddy's got the Cowboys. Heineke's got the...
If it ain't the Jets, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Heineke's on bye. Yeah. Go Wentz.
Yep.
Do it. Jay Sandy need an educated opinion on T.Y. Hilton. Got him sitting. Someone dropped him. I picked him up off waivers. Go ahead, TD. Do your thing.
So, look, T.Y. Hilton is still a veteran that knows how to run routes. And that's really good for the quarterback, especially with Wentz. T.Y. Hilton is going to be fine, man. I would compare him to give you a gauge of what you're getting is Marquise Brown. You can possibly get 2 deep plays a game, and that's all you're looking for. He's not going to get 12 targets. That's not him. Michael Pittman is that guy. But the deep plays is going to be through T.Y. Hilton. So I think you should pick him up and stash him for a flex to make your team better going into the playoffs.
All right, let's see. And Jay Sandy, is he startable, or should I try to trade him before he comes back? I mean, you're not really going to find anyone who's wanting to trade for T.Y. Hilton right now. At least, not for anything decent anyways.
Yep.
And Puff Pass, I have Kamara and J-Rob, which I'd 100% start over him. Okay, yeah, we were answering your trade question earlier, and I think we both said make that trade.
Mm-hmm.
Axelcution, is there anywhere else besides where we can sub? And said, laugh my ass off. I don't think my wife would be happy. So Patreon is the other place where you can sub up. And I think actually you might have already subbed up there. Let me see. So we got YouTube, we got Patreon, and we got Twitch. Those are the places that you can sub up as of right now.
Also, so it doesn't matter. So tell your wife it doesn't matter what the girls are doing. You're going there for fantasy football content, just like if you was going there for stocks. Don't you know there's really, really successful people that does stocks on OnlyFans? So a lot of women that take off clothes ruin OnlyFans. But I wanted to be different. Hustler has a great Patreon. There's a lot of guys have great Patreons. Hustler's been doing this longer than me. He has a channel that has more subscribers. So I had to do something a little bit different than everybody. So I went to OnlyFans. So it's fine, man. You just tell your wife you're going there for fantasy football content.
And you know what? There's other non adult OnlyFans accounts out there. Just so you guys know. I mean, one of the main reasons that I knew that OnlyFans was going to move into more of a mainstream audience is because Darnell Rawlings. Let me see if you guys remember. He's the guy who does this. The one on the Chappelle Show. He has a podcast, and he actually has an OnlyFans specific podcast as well. So he's got his mainstream podcast, and it's not sexual or anything. It's like literally just content for his OnlyFans subscribers. And that's one of the big names that they're working with, to try to get their crossover going.
Yep. Appreciate that, Hustle. Yep.
And let's see, Francisco, are we having a Q&A tomorrow? I still have a shitload of questionable players. Yeah, so on every Saturday, we actually have 2 question and answer sessions, one in the afternoon and then one in the evening, giving you those Saturday night tips. Facebook user, Pitts for Diggs in a keeper league, who wins? I mean, that's so close because we're talking about someone who's going to be probably looked at as a top 3-4 wide receiver next year, and Pitts is going to be looked at as a top 3, tight end. I think it's super, super even. Who would you rather want, TD?
If it's not premium, Pitts is just a really good tight end. So you have to I would go with like the receiver. But if it's premium, Pitts is probably even better than some RB2s. So I actually would go with Diggs if it's not tight end premium.
For sure. Yeah. If it's not tight end premium, we should be leaning Diggs. He's going to get drafted sooner. Think about it that way. Who's going to get drafted sooner in your league next year? Probably going to be Diggs. Chandler Brunelli, should I start Woods, Higgins, or Waddle? I think I'm leaning Waddle.
I'm leaning Waddle too.
All right. And Jay Sandy, don't worry about it. Let's see. Steven Tyler per year. What up? Herbert, Cooper, or Gainwell or Landry at the flex?
Herbert.
Yeah, I got to go with Herbert. I mean, he's getting all the work there right now, and might be one of the last weeks that he gets before Montgomery comes back.
And I think it's going to be a 60-40 split when Montgomery even comes back.
Yeah, definitely going to be something like that because they don't want Monty to keep getting hurt.
Exactly.
Russell Fry. All right, if Eckler doesn't play, I need 2 RBs and a flex, full PPR. Chuba, Fournette, Gainwell, Judy, Tony.
I'm going to say Fournette.
Same.
And he said he need one more, right?
Yeah, 2 running backs and then a flex. So, yeah, Fournette for me also.
So, I would say Fournette and Chuba. And the reason why I'm going with Chuba over Gainwell, he's just safer. But if you want a guy that's going to give you a higher ceiling, I would say Fournette, Gainwell, and Tony.
Yeah, that's what this comes down to is do you need a safe play out of that second RB? Because, yeah, I'd rather go Chuba. If you need more of a Hail Mary, I mean, Gainwell, he might come down with 10 receptions. I mean, we'll see. I mean, that's what it seems like his ceiling is there. So I'm going to go Fournette and Chuba. We're going to play it safe with that RB2 and assume you're projected to win. And then I'm going Tony with that flex spot. We're going to the moon on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Francisco, Thielen, McLaurin, Sutton, Hubbard, Henderson, Ridley. Start 1 wide receiver and 1 flex.
I'm going to say Thielen. And you need 1 flex. I would say Thielen and Henderson.
I'm going to go Sutton for the wide receiver. And that's it's either Sutton or McLaurin. And I'm same game there too. And actually, you know what? I'm going McLaurin. They're just going to have to get him involved. Even with those DBs that are out there, they're still a little banged up. And for the flex, I think I'm going to go Thielen in the flex there. It's not going to be Diggs who's covering him most of the time.
You don't like Henderson?
I like Henderson, but I'm thinking upside and going against Steve. I mean, I know that a lot depends on if Dak is playing or not, but I just got a Thielen that they're going to be throwing into him. Diggs is going to be covering CD, I'm assuming, more often than not.
Okay.
I mean, he may not follow CD into the slot. So I think he's going to be going back and forth a little bit. But when it gets close to the red zone, I mean,
Thielen is a monster.
Yeah, and Diggs has kind of been handled. Like, I mean, Diggs isn't good in like close quarters.
No.
Like he needs to be able to cut those, jump the routes, things like that. And, a little 10-yard pass or something, it's not enough time for him to jump most passes.
I agree.
And KTC Bull, I signed up for the thing where we were talking about the other day. All right. I know I had some people sign up on Patreon the other day. And TD hopefully had some people signing up on OnlyFans the other day as well. Life and Sports Talk with Jake. Would you trade T. Higgins for Schultz? I'm getting Higgins. I'd rather have Higgins than Schultz, yes.
Yeah, he's a tight end. Tight end is always streamable. So only way you trade a receiver for a tight end is got to be one of the top guys. And Schultz is just not one of those right now. So I'm going to stick with T. Higgins. He got 15 targets last week.
We said he'd be getting Higgins. So, yeah, that trade. Get Higgins.
Oh, yeah. Would you trade T. Higgins for Schultz? I'm getting Higgins. Yes. So, yes, do that. I'm sorry.
There we go. Yeah, it's weird because some people will put who they have first. Some people will put who they're getting first. Yeah. Sean E.G., who's the better stash, Watson or Lance? For right now until Tuesday, it's Watson. And I don't think Lance is going to be picked up. He's not going to play this week, like unless Jimmy gets hurt during this game. But I would just wait. Like I would get Watson in the hopes of him going somewhere, and we'll know by Tuesday. So you may be able to drop him next week either way.
100% agree with Hustler.
Execution. My team is QBs. Carr, Wilson, Kirk. Running backs, Henry, Patterson, Saquon, Hunt, Melvin, Gordon. Wide receivers, Evans, Cooper, Bobby Trees, Slant Boy. Who the hell is Slant Boy? Tight ends, Waller and Jared Cook. I like this team. I mean, you got Henry in there. You got Corduroy, Pimpin, Patterson. I mean, you got Saquon and Hunt. I mean, The QBs, once Wilson gets back, should be all right.
I'm gonna tell you something. I would trade Waller and get a better receiver. I think you still need a top excellent. But other than that, bro, your team is a B. But you could take it to a B plus, A minus if you was to get like a big time receiver.
Make some moves. And Lee, this was from earlier, said, appreciate you guys. Thanks for getting 100. That super chat in. And Miguel, Fournette or Mitchell for the flex? I'm going Fournette versus the Saints. I think they're going to have to put it on the ground a lot versus them.
Bro, this is one of those questions I'm saying, bro, tomato. Both of these guys are about the same play to me. Elijah Mitchell got guys like Trey Sermon that can come in and take a carry here and there. Same thing with Fournette. He got like Ronald Jones. He got Gio Bernard. I think this is even. I think you can just roll out whoever you want to. I think it's very, very even.
Good problem to have. How do I say this? Raxy, what up? Is Cooper? Said Cooper's son reliable since Dak is out. So what Cooper Rush reliable? I would say that, yeah, reliable is that's too strong of a word. Like, serviceable, maybe, if you got it, you're playing a 2 or 3 QB league, because there's a few 3 QB leagues that I play in. I saw everyone going crazy for Cooper Rush, going and getting them there. If I don't got to play him, and I would almost even want to play a skill player over him because they may just run it into the ground, this entire game. Chandler, should I start the Steelers defense or pick up the Vikings defense instead?
Steelers defense.
Yeah, going against the Browns. I mean, Browns just run it a lot. And even if they rack up like 300 yards on the ground, it's really about how many touchdowns, they score. So I think this is going to be a real scoring game. I remember back in the day, seeing some Steelers games, like final score is 9-6, shit like that. Like these defenses come out to play. Elver, what up? Marquise or AJ Brown? Dak might be out. Daniel Jones or Bridgewater? I'm going AJ Brown. Yeah, go AJ Brown. And so if Dak is out, Daniel Jones or Bridgewater? I think I want Bridgewater versus Washington.
If Tony plays, I want Daniel Jones. But if Tony and Saquon, this is easy. Daniel Jones is a smash play this week. He plays really well when he has Tony and Saquon. He looked great this year when he had those guys.
Blue Crew, what up? Half PPR, 12-team Superflex. Drop Mark Ingram for either Phillip Lindsay or Justin Jackson. I mean, if you have to play Justin Jackson, I mean, I wouldn't even do this, I guess. I think I would hold.
It's not really making any moves. You just kind of just don't make it a move just to make a move. I like Phillip Lindsay. I like Phillip Lindsay more than these guys. So you can do that. If you want to go and get Phillip Lindsay, I'm okay with that.
I'd say hold. They're all going to be very similar players either way. And Justin Jackson may only be a play for like this week only. Who knows how that backfield is really going to shape out. We at least know where Ingram and Lindsay, we at least know where they stand amongst their team. Richard, what up? Said, hey, gentlemen, good stuff.
What up, bro?
Craig Knox, would y'all start Mike Evans against Lattimore? I can start Emmanuel Sanders in his place.
Craig, I thought you was TD Jakes at first. But okay. But let me see. He said, would you start Mike Evans against Lattimore? I can start Emmanuel Sanders. I think that's getting cute. But I don't think it's a bad move. So I'm going to be genuine to that. It's not a bad move, but it's a little cute. I'm about starting studs. But Lattimore does have that name for Mike Evans. So I think that's okay if you want to do that.
I would say I'm starting Mike Evans, even though it is against Lattimore. No Antonio Brown. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Gronk, He's questionable. He may not play. I mean, Gronk doesn't play. Evans is even more of I'm not saying he's the only red zone threat that they have, but when they're in the red zone, when they're in close quarters, they look for Mike Evans. They don't really look for Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin, they get little bit farther back in the green zone towards the 10-yard line, things like that. Chris Godwin's in play. The farther back you move, Chris Godwin's in play.
Yeah.
But they may have to grind it out a little bit, this week versus Saints. And, those they might not be tearing off the big-ass chunk plays, the 40-yard touchdown passes, things like that. So I got to go Mike Evans.
Lattimore could be mad from getting pushed down from DK 2 or 3 times. So he could come out and have a monster game.
But I think Lattimore is also getting a little longer in the tooth. The older you get, the softer you get, especially at a position like QB, cornerback.
Yes. Yep.
This is the way it is. Richard, what up? Said wipe your feet at the door and click that like button. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's get it. All right. Roxy said, do you think Cooper Rush is more reliable than Daniel Jones or Teddy Bridgewater? No. No way. Steven Tyler per year, Hurts or Mahomes? Damn.
Mahomes all day, bro.
Yeah, you got to go Mahomes all day. But this is why you got to get into super flex leagues, because you shouldn't have to make a decision on starting or sitting these guys. You should be able to plug in both guys.
I agree.
Michael Charles, Elijah Mitchell, or Kenneth Gainwell? I'm going Mitchell over Gainwell.
Yes, I'm going to go Mitchell over Gainwell. Yep.
It's close, though. Definitely a lot closer than it was a week or two ago. Trail to Dope, what up? Traded away Brady, Rams, Godwin, Keenan, and Harris for Zeke, Josh Allen, and Amari. Still have Chubb, Dalvin, Diggs, A.J. Brown, and Saquon. I mean, I don't care about the Rams defense. I mean, outside of that, it's still a lot. It's
too much, like you say. It's too many people for the trade. I mean, I don't know if I love Saquon, but I don't think his value is higher than Harris. I don't know if I would have done the trade, but I can't sit there and say it was a bad trade, because these guys you got big time guys. You traded big time guys for big time guys. So we just got to wait it out and see where they finish.
The Rams was just a throw in. Outside of that, I think Amari Cooper is like the weakest player in the trade here. So that's what's kind of tough. I mean, yeah, Zeke and Harris, you're really splitting hairs there. And Harris might end up with more volume, than Zeke ends with. And Brady, he's kind of been doing better than Josh Allen, So, I know he's got his bye next week. So if you're literally just making this whole trade, to avoid a Brady bye week, I don't think that's a reason to make a trade like this.
I agree.
Richard, my Packers are out-coached Arizona last night. Packers didn't have the personnel to outplay the Cardinals. Yeah, they didn't, but they knew that the run game was going to do it.
A.J. Dillon and Derrick Henry, it's only a couple of teams to me to beat the Arizona defense. You don't beat them with speed. Cooper Kupp, they shut them down. So when you get big backs like A.J. Dillon and King Henry and other guys, you can beat this Arizona defense.
Yep. Shout out to C8. Carucci 23, and being offered Dalvin, Madison, and Bateman for Mixon, Evans, Amari Cooper. I'm 4th place in my league. Receivers will be Debo, A.J. Brown, and Ridley. Should I take this? So I guess I don't really know. I
would take it.
Yeah, you're getting Dalvin, you're getting Madison, you're getting Bateman. You got to give up Evans, Amari Cooper, and Mixon.
Yeah, I'm taking that Dalvin and Bateman all day.
Yeah, Dalvin and Madison, that's like one player. But yeah, Bateman's going to be a second half darling. We've already talked about that. And as long as Dalvin stays healthy, he's going to be that dude.
Yep.
Blue Crew, half PPR 12 team, super flex, drop mark. Oh, we already did this one. All right. Flappy Chappers, so happy. Who is that? Debo has been blah, blah, blah. Something about Debo.
So happy Debo has been traded healthy for Sunday. Releases a lot of stress I had this weekend. So Debo released a lot of stress for you this weekend? By having
So,
him healthy, I think that's what he's trying to say. By Debo being healthy, he's not stretched out anymore. I
yeah,
think.
and I think because we usually don't get the news on the West Coast teams in time, so I think that's what it is. I haven't really gotten any Debo news like at all of him being a full go at practice or limited. I hope he's a full go because I don't want to have to make decisions on him. Oh, here we go. And then Debo has been labeled healthy. There we go. I just didn't see the next one. Let's see. Aladdin, what up? Start one. Singletary or Bernard Scott?
Singletary.
Yeah. Singletary. Should I be hanging on to that player that is Lockett? I mean, even with Russ, he's only had 2 hot weeks. I'm 4-3. Standard 12 team have Hopkins, Shepard, and Tony. I mean, don't drop them if that's what you mean. But if you're trying to like move them for something, I mean, see what you can get for him. But I don't think a lot of people want him. I think you got to wait for Russ to come back. Like the 2 weeks that he was hot was the 2 weeks that Russ was cooking. Then he got hurt in like week 3 or week 4 or something like that.
Yeah, he was a top 5 wide receiver while Russ was there.
Yeah. Steven, what up? Steven Tyler per year. Herbert, Gainwell, Cooper, Landry at the flex. I'm going Herbert, and I think we answered this one already.
Yep. Herbert.
All right. Let's see. Flappy Chappers, will they rely on Zeke and Pollard if Dak is out? I think they'll rely on them very heavily.
Yeah, if their dad is out, I think they will rely on Zeke and Pollard.
Facebook user scrapping the bottom of the barrel. Van Jefferson or Hardman as my flex.
Van Jefferson. Yes, we said that Deshaun Jackson is looking for a trade. That he's seen that they are looking to start working in Van Jefferson. So that trade you made, Hustler, was a killer. You might have a starter flex receiver later on in the season, bro.
Oh yeah, and there's actually a league where I had to start Van Jefferson because I'm hurting so bad in with the what's it called bye weeks and all that. Let me see. Aiden Roberts, trade away Eckler, Woods, and Keenan for Devontae, Amari, and Gaskin. I think we answered this, and TD said make the trade for Devontae. I said just hold.
Yep.
Let's see. Don, what up? Shout out to the 420 crew. Need 2 full PPR. Cooks, Allen, Gibson, P. Ryan, Collins. Thanks, guys. I'm going Gibson. And yeah, I'm going Gibson. I'm going Cooks.
Who is Allen?
I'm assuming Keenan Allen. And actually, I got to change that. So
yeah,
I'm going Allen over Cooks. Cooks would be an
too.
emotional pick right now.
Me too. I'm gonna go with Gibson and Allen. If that's Keenan Allen.
Yeah. Let me see. Bench Cooper for Cooks. No. Perry, I didn't draft RBs that well. I need an RB1. I would give up Pat Mahomes, Damian Harris for Jalen Hurts and James Robinson. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot because, I mean, Damian Harris has been, like, solid. I mean, James Robinson is better, but it's given up a lot to upgrade just a little bit on a running back.
So he says that he's willing to give up Pat Mahomes to get Damian Harris?
No, he would be trading away Patrick Mahomes, Damian Harris for Jalen Hurts and James Robinson.
Okay. I don't know. I would just go ahead and stay packed with and keep Harris. I mean, I like James Robinson. No, I mean, I don't want you to give up no Pat Mahomes, bro. I don't know what type of quarterback you have. If you got a good quarterback, then
we'd be trading him for Jalen Hurts. He's on the other side of that trade.
And I don't like that. I just don't like that. I say sit pat.
Yeah. Say just hold. James Z, trade Murray, D-Hop, Monty, Julio for Josh Allen, Lamb, and Hunt. I don't like these trades, these 3-4 players for 3-4 players. Like, it's so much that it's literally just an even trade.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say hold.
I'm going to say hold, too.
David in the building. What up, bro? What up? What up? David's the one that I was telling you. He's the guy who connected all the dots for that Ricky Williams interview.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, David's a man. Ryan, what up, bro? Ryan Bianco. I need to pick up a backup QB just in case Kyler misses extended time. Daniel Jones or Carson Wentz. As of right now, Carson Wentz with his next 3. Well, if you already played Kyler, you're not playing him this week, but I like Carson Wentz's next 2 games coming up.
If Daniel Jones' team get healthy, if his weapons are healthy, if Tony and Saquon get healthy, I think Daniel Jones is going to be really nice going down the second half of the season. So I'm going to say Daniel Jones.
Steven Tyler per year. I have Chubb, Mixon, Herbert, Gainwell's my RBs, Mike Williams, Deontay, AB, Amari Cooper, and Landry as wide receivers. Kelsey is my tight end. Which players should I play this week? I need a flex. So, I mean, I think you already know which players you should play. You should play your best ones. That's what you got to do. Come back on Sunday. Come back on Saturday, and maybe ask, who's my QB start? Who's my RB starts? Maybe do it like that because this is a lot. We don't even know how many starters you start and things like that.
Yep.
Rob in the building. What up, bro? James Z. Oh, he already asked this one. All right, let's see. All right, we got to keep scrolling down. A lot of people ask double questions here. Xavier, what up, bro? From Facebook, Joe Burrow or Josh Allen? Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
Yeah, you don't sit him.
Mm-mm.
Chris from Facebook, Burrow or Cousins? I'm going Burrow because Cousins is playing in the prime time and he sucks in prime time.
Who's the Vikings? They got the Cowboys, right?
Cowboys. Yep.
I'm gonna go Burrow.
Close. It's close.
Yeah.
We know it is.
If Burrow was gonna play the whole game, I would say easy.
Let's see. Taggy Carp, thoughts on trading Sanders plus Waller for Diggs? Which Sanders? Oh, I'm assuming E. Sanders, I guess. Have Waller, Schultz, Tunyon, Tyreek. Man, why do people want to trade? I mean, people really think that Waller is going to be done for the year with this injury. You think that's what it is?
Yeah, I don't know why they do this with tight ends. Like, if they give them bad games, they want to get rid of them because tight ends is not enough high-scoring tight ends. So when you get one, you draft one, you hold on to him if he's not hurt, like out for the rest of the season. So I think it's because they're hearing about Waller and they disappointed at what he's done for him for the past weeks. So
that's so much for Diggs. Like Waller for Diggs straight up, like maybe that's a thing. But now we're talking about 2 players for one, and Waller is one of the most valuable players in the league when I know he's on bye and I know he's hurt, but it's not the time to sell extra low.
Mm-mm.
And David on Facebook, and we're getting close to the end here. So if you guys we'll be here for 9 more minutes and we're getting out of here. We still got a handful. This one question was left at 3:05. So if you want to get your question answered for sure, just leave it in as a super chat. And David Eric Allen said Allen and Hurts, Zeke, Michael Carter, D. Johnson, Mike Davis. Okay, so he's reading off his whole team and said need a solid RB2. This week is going to be Michael Carter, I guess, as your solid RB2. If you're talking about trade advice, just target someone who needs, I would say, tight end and sell off Noah Fant. There's just a lot of players here. He's read off.
Yeah. I actually think Debo is a sell high because you can get something real nice for him right now. I'm not saying he's going to be doing bad, but you can get a lot for Debo because of what he done. So if you could trade off Debo and get something like A.J. Brown, even Calvin Ridley or something like that. But did he say he need an RB to make that trade? Did he want to do it within a trade to make this? He
just said needed a solid RB2. Okay. So this is either needing to start an RB2 out of these or trade. So that I'm just assuming asking trade potentially. Okay. Zeb, what up? Bengals D or Browns D? I got to go Bengals versus the Jets. You just start every defense versus the Jets.
Bengals.
Zeb, Eckler going to play. I could go Corduroy Patterson or Damian Harris. I don't think Eckler is going to play, and I'd go Corduroy Pimpin' Patterson.
Yes.
And David said Michael Carter or David Johnson, and then Gesicki or Fant. I'm going
Michael Carter.
Going Carter, and I'm going Gesicki.
Yep, Carter and Gesicki.
Let's ride the wave. And Zeb said, "What up, guys?" Said, "Happy Friday. Appreciate it."
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Barney A. Am I holding on to Dearness Johnson? Since Hunt is still out, I'm holding as of now. I don't want to drop him for nothing.
Yep, or you could trade him and get you something that's gonna, somebody that's starting on a weekly basis.
Yeah, if you could trade him, that'd be dope. But don't drop him. He's still got value. Still got value. And LeBron's brain, what up? I also got Dearness Johnson in my flex, or who would I play in my flex? Dearness Johnson or David Johnson? I'm going David Johnson, just strictly volume play.
Yep, David Johnson.
Zeb said Tony if he plays, or Sutton or Woods.
Tony if he plays.
Yeah, I'm gonna go there too. Could get so many receptions against the Chiefs. Toby Boyer, someone dropped Kareem Hunt. Is he worth picking up for the long haul? Yes, go pick him up right now.
Go stash him.
Doesn't even matter who you're dropping. Drop the worst player on your team. It doesn't matter. Just do it. Zeb traded Eckler, Gaskin, and Godwin for CMC, Cup, and a 2023 third pick. I have Stafford as QB.
I think I like that trade.
Yeah, Dynasty. Yeah, all day for sure. CMC and Cup. Yeah.
Yep.
Gaskin's, for Dynasty, I don't even know how much I like Gaskin.
Exactly.
Diego, 14-team PPR 4-3. Any moves? All right. Well, sorry, Diego. Always make moves. Always make moves. A little bit too long of a question for right now. And Zeb said, if Dak is out, start Lamb or go Sutton or Woods. I think we already answered this, and I think I said Sutton.
I said Sutton too.
Chase, what up? Chase Brown said start 2 between double barrel Darrell, Herbert, Gainwell, Pollard. I have Zeke in as RB1, need RB2 and a flex. So we need 2 plays here. One of them
Herbert
has to be running back.
I would say Herbert, and he said start between Darrell Williams, Herbert, and Gainwell, Pollard. I would say Herbert and Gainwell.
I'm going to go Herbert and double barrel Darrell. And really it is just because I think he gets into the end zone.
Yep. And he is a safe play. He's more safer than Gainwell, but I gave you the boom guy.
Yeah, Gainwell definitely is the boom guy, and I'm definitely throw him out there in a couple games, but just gotta hope for the best. And LeBron's brain, Dak is game time. Yep, he's got the questionable tag. And Eric Allen, if Dak is out, should I start D Johnson? I think that was David Johnson, right? I think that's David. I think it's David Johnson as the flex over CeeDee Lamb in a standard league. No, I'd still play CD. And should I start Michael Carter as my RB2? Yes.
Yes, start Michael Carter over your RB2. But if that's David Johnson.
It is David Johnson, he said.
Yeah. I guess I would go with CD. Yeah, I can't. I haven't seen what they're going to do yet, so I got to go with CD, a known commodity.
Yeah. Barney, I've been hanging on to him in my league because of the streamer advice from you. Thanks, man. How the hell do I make moves and not rely so heavily on streamer? I don't have a deep team at all. So let me see. Who was that? That was the Dearness Johnson. But that's what fantasy is, though. It's literally like this is a week-to-week game. A lot of people, not just you, are streaming at a lot of positions right now, whether it's that wide receiver 2 or their flex or their running back 2. It happens. And you just got to hope that you have a good waiver claim when one of these big guys just shows up for the playoff run, because it always happens. There's always some running back. Last year it was Cam Akers who came in and who was available in a lot of leagues, for week 14 last year. It's going to happen again. You got to be on waivers every single week. You don't slack right now.
Yep.
Hops in my cup, Claypool or Woods, half PPR. I'm going Claypool. Oh, and Chase Brown said, forgot Hubbard. He's in the mix now, too. I think we'd still be going the same way. I went Darrell and Herbert, and you went Herbert and Gainwell. Would you put Hubbard in over either of those?
Hubbard and Darrell Williams is the same. I would probably play Hubbard. I might play Herbert over Darrell, but that just depends on how I'm feeling.
Yeah, our answers could change on a day-to-day basis. So that's why we do these Q&As like literally every day. So make sure you're tapping in on TD's channel, Fantasy Good Sports. Make sure you're tapping into my channel, Fantasy Football Hustler. We're literally doing these all the time, giving back to the people. We probably do more live streams and answer more questions than anybody in the fantasy football space because both of us put in a lot of hours per week. Barney, what up? With the super sticker, and he said, "I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, bro. Thanks for getting in."
100, bro.
Let's see. Couple last questions here. Manny from Michigan. Emmanuel Sanders for DeAndre Swift. Good trade. If you're getting DeAndre Swift, yes, great trade.
It's hard for me to understand these trade questions, so I'm gonna say if you got the Swift side, you're doing good, bro. That's the side you should be on.
Yep. And Austin, what up, bro? Shout out to the Patreon crew. Said, with Dak questionable, do I grab Cousins and play him just to be safe? My opponent played Murray and Hopkins, so it's looking good. Also, if Dak doesn't start, pivot off of Lamb with Emmanuel Sanders. So,
yes and yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead and pick up Kirk Cousins and go ahead and I would play Emmanuel Sanders because he has his starting quarterback. So I would say yes and yes.
And I'd be looking, I mean, if one QB league, there might be some better plays out there. Like if Carson Wentz is out there, I think I'd go Carson Wentz over Kirk Cousins. Carson Wentz going up against the Titans, who are giving up the booty to wide receivers and QBs. So, yeah, hit me up on Patreon, hit me up in the Discord, and let me know who some of the waiver wire QBs are there besides Cousins. And Taggy Carp, Cole Beasley, and Damian Harris for T. Higgins. No. And how about Gaskin and Damian Harris for T. Higgins? No. I'd rather have Damian Harris than T. Higgins.
Me too.
Puff, puff, pass. Try to move Hawk for Waller. If you can get Waller from giving up Hawkinson somehow, yes, do it.
Long as you got a tight end that you can manage between doing that, because Waller's going to be out if you make that trade.
Yep. Can't play him this week for sure. And Diego says, this is the right spot to ask a question. Yep, but got to get it in quick. We're here for like 2 or 3 more minutes. There's just a couple questions. We're rapid firing these. Antonio, if Eckler don't play, should I pick up Justin Jackson, Damian Williams, Bolden, or Hasty? I think I would go Bolden.
Yes, Bolden.
And there we go. Barney said, appreciate you guys. And LeBron's brain said, do I start Wentz because Dak is a game time decision and it's at 8? We're going to get more news before then. So if you're making a decision like right this second, yeah, go ahead and start Wentz. But yeah, just wait. We're going to get more news tomorrow. We're going to get more news Sunday morning. I'm sure we're going to get a little bit of news.
But Hustler, he might have to do that now because, if you wait, somebody might snipe him. So if you want to go ahead and play the game just to see, have a backup plan, I think Wentz is okay to go ahead and have on your bench in case Dak doesn't play.
Yeah, if you got to pick up Wentz right now, definitely do that right now for sure. Yeah. And Chandler said, thanks for the advice. Hell yeah, Chandler. Thanks for hanging out. Everyone who throw it in the chat. If you hung out like from pretty much start to finish when we were going through the news and all these questions, I'd like to know who you are. Throw it in the chat and just throw a 100. Use the 100 emoji in the chat.
Yep.
I'd like to shout you out personally. And Steven Tyler per year said I traded Higgins and A-Rob for Mixon and Gaskin, then dropped Gaskin, somehow got AB on the waiver wire.
You winning, bro. You making winning moves.
I like it. Ian, what up? Said, what up, guys? Tony or Gibson in the flex?
I know this was coming. Tony, I'm gonna be fair. I'm playing Tony. I love Gibson. But hopefully you doing this for upside. Hopefully because if you need like Gibson's your RB2, then yeah, you got to go with Gibson. But if this is a flex, yeah, you said flex. So yeah, man, it's Tony.
Whoever's the Facebook user that said 100, make sure you throw your name in there because I don't know who you are. It just says Facebook user, but I want to shout you out by name so we know. And Barney said 100. Nice. Been here the whole time. Don Haggard 420 crew been here the whole time. Appreciate you guys because this is a long show. Been here for about 2.5 hours. So long show. Appreciate you guys hanging with us.
Yeah.
We're almost out of here. A couple more questions. Nice. And Facebook users Barney, he said double watching. I like it. It. Appreciate it. And let's see. Hops in my cup. said 6 100s. I like it. I like it. There we go. And Ian Taylor said, what up, guys? Tony or Gibson? Oh, no, that was the last one we answered there.
No, it's the same question.
Yep. David Eric Allen said, should I offer Debo, Mike Davis, and Noah Fant for Najee? It's a lot, but I'd do that.
I would do that.
If that's what it takes to get Najee, just give it up. Tomas from Panama, what up, bro? LaVisca or wait for Tony for Monday night? Peace. Tony.
Monday night.
I think he's going to wait. And Chandler's been in here the whole time. Chandler Brunelli, what up? Thanks for hanging with us. And Steven Tyler per year hanging with us at 100. I like it. We like the people who hang out on the streams because we're here for you guys putting in the work.
Yes, sir.
All right. And tell him Richard said, click that like button, everybody. No matter where you are watching, smash that like button. All right. And not the Mayo. Who do I start, Kirk or Daniel Jones? Daniel Jones for me.
Daniel Jones for me.
M. Garcia, Wentz, Jones, Lawrence, Heineke. I'm going Wentz.
Jones. If Tony plays.
Hops in my cup. Offer Mixon and Woods for Diggs. I feel like it's paying a little bit too much for Diggs, but I do feel like he's going to be really killing it in the second half of the season, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't get this is Mixon season. He's healthy. You might want to keep him right now.
And Woods is getting better. Like his worst games are behind him.
Yes.
All right. And last comment/question, my man Antonio been on the stream the whole time. He said, Hollywood Bo Hogan really made my day today. He's the man. Okay. I almost feel like I want to come in character for the Friday night show because I know we didn't have too many. We didn't have a whole crazy amount of views for the Wednesday show, but I was in costume, so I might have to do that for the Friday night show, especially if Bo Hogan's going to be here. And last two questions here real quick. Woods or Brandon Cooks? I'm going Woods.
If Tyrod were playing, I would probably say Cooks. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go to Woods on this one. I thought Tyrod was going to play. So Tyrod's not playing. I'm going to go with Woods on this one.
There we go. And Barney said, got to get 3 less McDoubles this month and signed up for Patreon instead. I like it, bro. I like it. We need more people like you. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Everything is going to be going directly there. You get the priority on the start and sits. You'll see a post a couple hours before every single live stream. The post is up in Patreon right now. If everybody go get your questions in, you're going to be first priority on the live stream later tonight. And TD, we out of here. Why don't you tell everybody where to find you at?
So, guys, go to any social media platform and you can find me, Fantasy Good Sports. Any social media platform from Facebook to TikTok to Instagram. Also, guys, I have OnlyFans. And no, I'm not taking off my clothes. I'm providing fantasy football content. So, listen, you tell your wives, hey, listen, I'm going there for fantasy football, honey. I'm not looking at naked women. So come over to my OnlyFans, guys, and get this cutting-edge content that I'm providing. And also subscribe to my homie Hustler. He's doing a lot of things, guys. He's really busy. He's putting it all in work. So subscribe to his channel too, guys.
We're out here killing it. Like I can honestly say, like us two are grinding probably a little bit harder than everyone else out there. Everyone's out here working, but we're just taking it to the next level. Yes. And every single week, Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, we're here doing the news for you. And then each show, we're doing a little Q&A at the end. Friday is always the longest. If you didn't check out the Ricky Williams interview on the show yesterday, you can still go watch the live replay. It's also on Spotify and Apple and everywhere now. So just go search me on the podcast, Fantasy Football Hustler. It is there as well. We got the Friday night Q&A that's going down 4 hours from now, about maybe 3.5 hours. And then we got some Saturday. We got 3 live streams on Saturday. In the morning, we're doing an IDP mid-season breakdown. You want to be there. I'm going through all the top scorers. We're going to be talking about, each position and taking some questions, things like that. And then we got the afternoon Q&A and we got the night Q&A. And then on Sunday, don't forget the Alex Highsmith jersey giveaway. We've already crossed 2K on YouTube. It's going down 1 hour before all the games kick off. Just make sure you tap in on the YouTube Q&A. Then it is going down. So everyone just rack up those extra entries right now. Patreon's the way you rack up the extra entries, leaving $5 super chats. That's how you rack it up. Subbing up on Twitch, subbing up on, or not subbing up on YouTube, but YouTube subscribers, you're in it as well. But if you join as a YouTube member, you get 5 extra entries. So join just the $5 plan, get 5 extra entries. You join the $10 plan, you get 10 extra entries. There's also a bigger plan on there. You really want to get those extra entries. Jump on the $50 plan on YouTube or on Patreon. You're really going to make your way into getting that jersey. All right, we're out. Long show. Appreciate you guys hanging with us. We'll see you later tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Make sure you tap in on Fantasy Good Sports. There's no spaces. Tap in on Fantasy Football Hustler. Let's go do it everywhere. And then tap in on Bogard's channel, the GMM Network, everywhere as well, especially on YouTube. Peace out.
Yep, 100.